Hi, loves, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited about today's Pick a Card reading. It's all about diving deep into what someone's really thinking and feeling about you, like their secret feelings. It's gonna be juicy, it's gonna be insightful, and I'm just so ready to jump in with you. So if you're here, you're in a safe space, and we're going to uncover some hidden truths together. This reading is designed to tap into their current thoughts, and those feelings they might not be saying out loud. So it's gonna be a little peek behind the curtain, a little glimpse into their heart and mind to see what's truly going on. And the best part is, this reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching this, it's meant for you. Now, let's get into these gorgeous crystals that are going to help us choose our piles today. So, for our first pile, we have the clear quartz heart illuminating, right? This is all about unveiling clarity and seeing the path ahead. For our second pile, we have the Moonstone butterfly centering, with emerging truths like a transformation in bloom. Then, for pile number 3, we have the Sapphire point, for deep reflections and grounded perspectives. And finally, pile number 4, we have the Rose Quartz Angel, for gentle whispers and nurturing emotional connection. So go ahead and take a moment, breathe, and see which crystal you're most drawn to. Trust your intuition here. There's no pressure to choose any certain one. It's okay to check multiple piles too if you feel called. And as you're picking, let's all take a moment to make a little intention for clarity, love, and understanding. All right, loves, I can't wait to see you in your reading. Okay, you chose the clear quartz heart. This crystal is all about illuminating your path, and with the theme of unveiling clarity, it feels like things are about to get a whole lot clearer for you, like seeing the road ahead after a long fog. Let's dive into these cards and see what secrets they hold for you. All right, first up, we have the Fool, and oh my gosh, this card is just pure, unadulterated potential, right? Like, think of it as this witty, innocent energy just ready to leap into the unknown. There's this sense of excitement and optimism that's so infectious. It's like, yes, world, I'm here, ready for anything. This is you, or at least a part of you, stepping into a new chapter, a fresh start. There's a real sense of adventure, of not really knowing what's coming next, but being totally okay with it, even thrilled by it. Maybe you're considering a new relationship, a new job, a new creative project, or even just a new way of looking at things. The Fool doesn't have a plan, not really. They just have this unwavering belief that everything will work out, and honestly, that's kind of amazing. You're packing your bags, metaphorically speaking of course, right? And you are getting ready to go on a new adventure. I feel like the adventure will be great for you. Now, the Fool can sometimes be seen as naive, a little bit reckless even, but I don't see that here. Instead, I see this beautiful trust in the universe, a willingness to just go with the flow. It's like saying, okay, I don't need to know all the answers right now. I'm just going to take this first step and see where it leads me. And that's so powerful, Because so often we get caught up in trying to control everything, in needing to have all the details figured out before we even begin, that we miss out on these incredible opportunities. So, the Fool is urging you to embrace that sense of freedom, that willingness to take a leap of faith. What is it that you've been dreaming about, longing to do, but haven't had the courage to pursue? This is your sign, your invitation to just go for it. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the what ifs. Just trust that you have everything you need within you to navigate whatever comes your way. The cards are in your favor, that's what I'm hearing. And you know what? Even if you stumble, even if things don't go exactly as planned, that's okay too. The Fool knows that every experience, every challenge is just an opportunity for growth, for learning, for becoming even more authentically you. It's okay to learn. You're going to learn and grow so much from this new journey. Trust your intuition, your inner compass, and let it guide you forward. I see abundance, not financial but spiritual abundance for you. So embrace the unknown, darling. Embrace the excitement, embrace the potential. The universe is conspiring to support you, to bring you exactly where you need to be. Take that leap of faith. It's time. Now, this is where things get a little bit more interesting because next we have the Moon. And the moon is all about intuition, about the subconscious, about the things that are hidden beneath the surface. After that bright, shiny energy of the Fool, the moon brings us into this world of shadows and mystery. Think of it as like walking through a forest at night. You can see the path ahead, but everything looks a little different, a little distorted. Your senses are heightened, you're more aware of your surroundings, but you're also a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more uncertain. This card asks you to trust your gut feelings. The moon often represents illusions, things that aren't quite as they seem. Maybe you're not seeing a situation clearly, maybe there are hidden agendas or unspoken truths that are influencing your decisions. It's like the clarity that the clear quartz heart promises is being challenged, right? But that challenge is there to make you stronger. This could be in a relationship, where you're not quite sure where you stand with someone, or in a work situation, where there are office politics or hidden power dynamics at play. It could also be about your own inner world, your fears, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs that are holding you back. The moon is asking you to delve deeper, to explore those hidden aspects of yourself and your situation. What are you afraid to look at? What truths are you avoiding? What emotions are you suppressing? This isn't always easy, of course. It can be uncomfortable, even scary, to confront our shadows. But it's so important, because until we do, they'll continue to influence our lives in ways we don't even realize. This is a journey within. You're going to understand yourself and your true intentions as you push through this journey. One thing to remember about the moon is that it's not necessarily a negative card. It's not saying that something bad is going to happen, but it is saying that you need to be aware, to pay attention, to trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. If you're getting mixed signals, dig deeper. Don't just accept things at face value. The moon is also a very creative card. It represents the realm of dreams, of imagination, of inspiration. So this could also be a time when you're feeling particularly intuitive, particularly connected to your inner muse. Pay attention to your dreams, to your creative impulses, to those flashes of insight that come to you out of the blue. They may be guiding you towards something important. The moon will reveal these things to you through your dreams. So with the moon following the Fool, it's like saying, okay, you're taking this leap of faith, you're embracing the unknown, but be mindful. Don't just blindly jump into anything. Trust your intuition, pay attention to the signs, and be willing to explore the shadows. It is a good pairing, even if they seem different. You have the intuition to guide you. And now, to bring it all together, we have the Magician. Oh, I love the Magician. After the raw potential of the Fool and the murky depths of the moon, the Magician represents action, manifestation, and taking control of your destiny. This is where you get to harness all that energy and turn it into something tangible, something real. The Magician is a master of tools, both internal and external. They have all the elements at their disposal: earth, air, fire, water, and they know how to use them to create the life they desire. This card is about resourcefulness, about knowing that you have everything you need within you to achieve your goals. Think about it. The Fool had the courage to start, the moon gave you the intuition and the insight, and now the Magician is saying, okay, you've got this. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the power to make it happen. It is the ultimate trio. This reading is so empowering for you. This isn't about being arrogant or manipulative, though. The Magician is about aligning yourself with the universe, about using your gifts in service of something greater than yourself. It's about taking responsibility for your life and creating a reality that reflects your true values and desires. Maybe you've been feeling stuck, like you're not sure how to move forward. The Magician is telling you to stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen. What steps can you take today, right now, to move closer to your goals? What skills do you need to develop? What resources do you need to gather? This card is also about communication, about expressing yourself clearly and effectively. If you have a message to share, now is the time to share it. If you need to have a difficult conversation, don't put it off any longer. The Magician has the power of persuasion, the ability to articulate their ideas in a way that resonates with others. Use your voice, lovely. So, with the magician coming after the fool and the moon, it's like saying, okay, you're taking this leap of faith, you're exploring your inner world, and now you're ready to manifest your dreams into reality. It's about combining that fool-like enthusiasm with the moon's intuition, and then channeling it all through the focused intention of the magician. You can truly achieve anything with this combination. This could be in any area of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, your creative pursuits. The magician is a reminder that you are a powerful creator, that you have the ability to shape your own reality. So, believe in yourself, trust your abilities, and take action. The universe is waiting to support you. Think of it like this. You're starting a new project, the Fool. You're tapping into your intuition to guide you, the Moon. And then you're using your skills and resources to bring that project to life, the Magician. Or maybe you're starting a new relationship, the Fool. You're being mindful of your own emotions and the other person's, the Moon. And then you're communicating openly and honestly to build a strong connection, the Magician. Whatever it is, the Magician is telling you that you have what it takes. You are resourceful, you are creative, you are powerful. So go out there and make some magic happen. Don't be scared, the Magician is there to protect you. And remember that clear quartz heart. It's there to illuminate your path, to help you see clearly even when things get murky. Trust your intuition, trust your abilities, and trust that the universe is always conspiring to support you. This is such an exciting reading for you. Embrace the journey, darling, and watch the magic unfold. You will love it. Okay, so, wow, this is interesting. After all that excitement and taking charge, we now have the Nine of Swords. And oh honey, this card can be a tough one. It's all about anxiety, worry, and those negative thoughts that just keep you up at night. You know that feeling when you're just lying there, staring at the ceiling, and your brain just won't shut off. Yeah, that's the Nine of Swords. So, think about it. You've got the Fool ready to jump into this new adventure, and then the Moon asking you to look at all the hidden stuff, right? And then the Magician go, 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 make it happen. But now the Nine of Swords is kind of saying, hold on a second. What if you mess it all up? What if you're not good enough? What if everything goes wrong? It's like all that potential energy from the Fool has turned into anxiety, you know? It's like, maybe you're so excited about this new beginning, but deep down, you're also terrified of failing. Or maybe the Moon brought up some old fears or insecurities that you thought you'd dealt with, but they're actually still there, lurking in the shadows. And then the Magician is you have to be perfect, you have to manifest everything you want, which can create so much pressure, right? So the Nine of Swords is asking you to look at those fears, to acknowledge them, but not to let them control you. It's saying, okay, I see you, anxiety, I know you're here, but I'm not going to let you win, because you are so powerful, darling. This could be about so many things, you know? Maybe you're worried about what other people will think of your new path. Maybe you're afraid of leaving your comfort zone. Maybe you're scared of repeating past mistakes. Or maybe it's just a general feeling of overwhelm, like there's too much to do and you don't know where to start. I totally get it, that's a tough feeling, right? And with the clear quartz heart being all about clarity, this card is like a test. Can you find clarity even in the midst of all this anxiety? Can you see the path forward even when your mind is telling you all the reasons why you can't? So what can you do about it? Well, first of all, be kind to yourself. Seriously. This is not the time to beat yourself up or to try to push through the anxiety. That's just going to make it worse. Instead, take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself that it's okay to feel this way. It's normal to feel anxious when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's part of being human. Then, try to identify the specific thoughts that are causing you the most anxiety. What are you actually afraid of? Write them down if that helps. Once you know what you're dealing with, you can start to challenge those thoughts. Are they really true? Are they based on facts or are they just assumptions? Are you being too hard on yourself? Let's say you're worried about failing. Ask yourself, what does failure actually mean to you? Is it really the end of the world? Or is it just an opportunity to learn and grow? And even if things don't go exactly as planned, can you still find some value in the experience? Another thing that can help is to focus on what you can control. You can't control what other people think. You can't control the future, and you can't control everything that happens to you. But you can control your own thoughts, your own actions, and your own reactions. So focus on those things. Focus on taking small steps forward, on doing your best each day, and on staying true to your values. And don't forget about self-care. This is so important, especially when you're feeling anxious. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and exercising regularly. Spend time with people who make you feel good, and do things that you enjoy. Take breaks when you need them, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, maybe you need to talk to a therapist or a counselor, or maybe you just need to vent to a friend. Whatever it is, don't try to go through this alone. There are people who care about you and want to support you. And remember the moon. Maybe your subconscious is trying to tell you something. Maybe there's a hidden fear or a limiting belief that you need to address. So pay attention to your dreams, your intuition, and your gut feelings. What are they telling you? And what about the magician? Don't let the anxiety paralyze you. Use your skills, your resources, and your inner power to overcome these challenges. You have everything you need within you to succeed. Just believe in yourself. This Nine of Swords, it's not necessarily a bad sign, you know? It's just a reminder that you need to take care of yourself, to manage your stress, and to stay grounded in the present moment. It's a challenge, yes, but it's also an opportunity to grow stronger and more resilient. Think of it like this. The Fool is like planting a seed, the moon is like nurturing it in the dark, and the magician is like helping it grow. But the Nine of Swords is like a weed that's trying to choke the plant. You need to pull that weed out so that the plant can thrive. It's also possible that this anxiety is related to your relationships. Maybe you're worried about how your new path will affect your loved ones. Maybe you're afraid of disappointing them or of losing their support. If that's the case, it's important to communicate openly and honestly with them. Tell them how you're feeling and listen to their concerns. Try to find a compromise that works for everyone. Remember, the magician is all about communication, about expressing yourself clearly and effectively. So, use your voice. Don't let your anxiety keep you from speaking your truth. You know, I'm also wondering if this Nine of Swords is connected to a specific person in your life. Maybe there's someone who's been causing you stress or anxiety. Maybe they're critical or judgmental, or maybe they're just not supportive of your dreams. If that's the case, you may need to set some boundaries with them. You don't have to cut them out of your life entirely, but you do need to protect your energy. Like, maybe you need to limit your contact with them, or maybe you need to change the way you interact with them. Whatever it is, make sure you're putting your own needs first. And don't forget about the clear quartz heart. It's there to help you see clearly, even when things are murky. So trust your intuition, trust your inner wisdom, and trust that everything is happening for a reason. Even the challenges and the setbacks are part of your journey. With the Fool, the Moon, the Magician, and now the Nine of Swords, it's like you're on this incredible roller coaster ride, you know? There are ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of excitement and moments of fear. But the key is to stay present, to enjoy the ride, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. I know it's easier said than done, but you've got this, darling. You're strong, you're resilient, and you're capable of anything you set your mind to. Just remember to take care of yourself along the way, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I'm really curious to see what card comes next, because it feels like this Nine of Swords is setting the stage for something big. Is it going to offer a solution to the anxiety? Is it going to reveal the root cause? Or is it going to present an even bigger challenge? Ooh, wow. Okay, so after all that, after the Nine of Swords, we have the Ace of Wands. Ooh, honey, this is like a shot of pure inspiration, you know? Like after all that anxiety, this is such a welcome burst of fresh energy, right? The Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings, new opportunities, new ideas. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've been through a rough patch, but guess what? Here's a brand new spark to ignite your passion. It's so exciting. So, like, think about it, right? You have the Fool ready to jump into the unknown, then the Moon exploring all the hidden stuff, then the Magician manifesting your dreams, but then the Nine of Swords hits and it's like, wait, can I really do this? Am I good enough? But now the Ace of Wands is like, yes. You absolutely can. Here's the energy, here's the inspiration, here's the spark you need to get started. It's like a cosmic pep talk, you know? But the thing is, right, the Ace of Wands is just the beginning. It's the potential for something amazing, but it's not the full picture yet. It's like you have this tiny little seed, and it has the potential to grow into a huge, beautiful tree, but you still have to plant it, water it, and nurture it, you know? So, with the Nine of Swords still lingering in the background, it's like, how are you going to use this new energy? Are you going to let the anxiety hold you back, or are you going to use this Ace of Wands to push through it? Because like the Ace of Wands can be a little bit impulsive, you know? It's like, go, 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 do it now. Don't think, just act. And that can be amazing, but it can also lead to burnout or making rash decisions, especially with that Nine of Swords still hanging around. So it's important to channel this energy wisely, to be mindful of your limits, and to not let the excitement override your intuition, which, remember, the moon gave you. So what could this Ace of Wands be about, specifically? Well, it could be a new creative project, you know. Maybe you've been wanting to write a book, or start a blog, or learn to paint, or whatever it is that lights you up inside. This could be the sign you've been waiting for. It's like, okay, stop procrastinating, stop making excuses, and just start creating. The universe is giving you the green light, so go for it. Or, you know, it could be a new relationship, right? Maybe you've been feeling lonely or disconnected, and this Ace of Wands is bringing a new person into your life. Someone who sparks your interest and makes you feel alive. But, like, with the moon and the Nine of Swords, it's important to be cautious, to not rush into anything, and to really get to know this person before you get too invested, you know? Are they genuine? Are they trustworthy? Do they align with your values? These are all important questions to ask. And it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a new friendship, or a new business partnership, or even just a new connection with someone who inspires you, you know. The Ace of Wands is all about new connections, new possibilities, new energy. It's about expanding your horizons and opening yourself up to new experiences. Or, you know what else it could be? It could be a new way of thinking. Maybe you've been stuck in a rut, feeling like you're just going through the motions, and this Ace of Wands is bringing a new perspective, a new way of looking at things. It's like, okay, stop dwelling on the past, stop worrying about the future, and start focusing on the present moment. It's about embracing change, about being open to new ideas, and about challenging your own limiting beliefs. Like, maybe you've always thought you weren't good enough, or that you weren't capable of achieving your dreams. This Ace of Wands is here to tell you that that's not true. You are good enough, you are capable, and you have the power to create the life you want. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to take action. Remember the magician. But like, with the Nine of Swords, it's important to be realistic, you know. It's not going to be easy, there will be challenges along the way, and there will be times when you feel like giving up. But that's okay. It's part of the process. The key is to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep growing. And to remember that clear quartz heart, right? To stay focused on your intentions, and to trust that everything is happening for a reason. So, how do you harness this Ace of Wands energy, especially with the anxiety from the Nine of Swords? Well, first of all, you need to get clear on what you want. What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to experience? Once you know what you want, you can start to take action. But like small steps, you know. Don't try to do everything at once. That's just going to overwhelm you and make the anxiety worse. Start with one small step, and then another and another. And celebrate your progress along the way. Acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. Because every step forward is a victory, and every victory builds momentum. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Lean on your friends, your family, your mentors, your support system. You don't have to do this alone. And you know what else? Maybe this Ace of Wands is telling you to take a break from all the seriousness, you know? Maybe you've been working too hard or stressing too much, and you just need to have some fun. Go out dancing, or go to a concert, or go on a road trip, or whatever it is that makes you feel happy and alive. Sometimes, the best way to overcome anxiety is to just let loose and have some fun. It's also possible that this Ace of Wands is connected to your health, you know. Maybe you've been neglecting your physical or mental well-being, and this is a sign that you need to start taking better care of yourself. Eat healthy foods, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and practice mindfulness or meditation. These things can make a huge difference in your anxiety levels. And remember the moon. It's possible that your subconscious is trying to tell you something about this new beginning. Pay attention to your dreams, your intuition, and your gut feelings. What are they telling you? Are they guiding you towards something positive, or are they warning you about something negative? Trust your inner wisdom and don't ignore the red flags. So with the Fool, the Moon, the Magician, the Nine of Swords, and now the Ace of Wands, it's like you're on this incredible journey of self-discovery, you know. There are highs and lows, challenges and triumphs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. But the key is to stay present, to stay open, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. And honestly, darling, with that clear quartz heart shining its light on your path, I really feel like you're about to experience a major breakthrough. This Ace of Wands is like the key that unlocks the door to your dreams. You just have to be brave enough to step through it, even with that lingering anxiety from the Nine of Swords. Like, think of it this way. The Fool gave you the courage to start, the Moon gave you the intuition to guide you, the Magician gave you the power to manifest your dreams, the Nine of Swords gave you the opportunity to confront your fears, and now the Ace of Wands is giving you the energy to make it all happen. It's all coming together. But like, what's going to happen next? That's the big question, right? Is the next card going to be a smooth ride, or is it going to be another challenge? Ooh, I'm so excited to find out. Okay, so like, wow. After all that, we get Temperance. Oh my gosh, this is so interesting after the Ace of Wands, right? Because you've got all this new energy, this like, go, go, go feeling, but then Temperance is like, hold on a second, let's just chill for a minute, okay? It's like a cosmic chill pill, you know? Temperance is all about balance, harmony, and finding the middle ground. It's like, you know, Goldilocks finding the porridge that's just right. Not too hot, not too cold, but juiced right. It is about moderation, about finding what works for you without going overboard, you know? And like, patience, right? It's not always about rushing into things, but about letting things unfold naturally, in divine timing, you know? Okay, so like, Temperance after all that other stuff. This is gonna be good. So like, with the Fool being all about new beginnings and jumping into the unknown, and then the Moon bringing up all that subconscious stuff, and the Magician helping you manifest your dreams, and then the Nine of Swords with all that anxiety, and then the Ace of Wands with that burst of new energy. Temperance is like the glue that holds it all together, you know? It's about integrating all those different aspects of yourself and your life into one harmonious whole. Think about it, right? You've got this Fool energy, this excitement about the future, but then the Moon is like, but what about all those hidden fears? And the Magician is like, you can do anything. But then the Nine of Swords is like, but what if you fail? And then the Ace of Wands is like, go, go, go. And Temperance is like, okay, everyone just calm down. Let's find a way to make this all work together, okay? It's about finding that balance between your head and your heart, between your intuition and your logic, between your dreams and your fears. And like, specifically with the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Wands, right? You've got all this anxiety, all these worries, and then you've got this burst of new energy and inspiration. And Temperance is like, okay, let's not let the anxiety paralyze you, but let's also not let the excitement make you reckless, okay? Let's find a way to channel that energy in a way that's both productive and healthy. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by all the possibilities, right? The Ace of Wands is like, you could do this, you could do that, you could do a million different things. And Temperance is like, okay, but what do you really want to do? What's going to bring you the most joy and fulfillment? Let's focus on that, and let's not spread ourselves too thin, okay? It is all about focus. Or, you know, maybe you're feeling stuck between two different choices, right? Maybe you're trying to decide whether to take a new job or stay in your current one, or whether to move to a new city or stay where you are. And Temperance is like, Okay, let's weigh the pros and cons of each option, let's listen to your intuition, and let's find a compromise that works for you. Maybe there's a way to combine the best of both worlds. Temperance will help you weigh those important decisions. It could also be about relationships, right? Maybe you're in a relationship that's been feeling a little rocky lately, and temperance is like, okay, let's work on communication, let's work on compromise, and let's find a way to bring more harmony and understanding into the relationship. It's about finding that balance between giving and taking, between expressing your needs and listening to your partner's needs. Or, maybe you're single and you're looking for love, and temperance is like, okay, let's not be too picky, but let's also not settle for someone who's not right for you. Let's be patient, let's be open to new possibilities, and let's trust that the right person will come along at the right time. And, temperance can also be about your relationship with yourself, right? Maybe you've been really hard on yourself lately, and temperance is like, okay, let's practice some self-compassion, let's forgive ourselves for our mistakes, and let's focus on our strengths. Let's treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend. It's really about inner kindness, like giving that to yourself. Or maybe you've been neglecting your physical or mental health, and temperance is like, okay, let's make some healthy choices, let's prioritize self-care, and let's find a way to bring more balance and well-being into our lives. It's about finding that middle ground between working hard and resting, between being productive and being playful. Temperance can also mean, like, finding the balance in your spiritual life, right? It's about finding a way to connect with something bigger than yourself without getting too dogmatic or rigid about it. It's about finding that sweet spot between faith and reason, between intuition and logic. Think of it like this. The fool is like a wild child, running around and exploring the world with abandon. The moon is like a wise old sage, offering guidance and insight from the shadows. The magician is like a skilled craftsman, using their tools and talents to create something beautiful. The Nine of Swords is like a worried parent, fretting about all the things that could go wrong. And the Ace of Wands is like a spark of inspiration, igniting a fire within you. And temperance is like a wise and patient teacher, helping you to integrate all those different aspects of yourself into a harmonious whole. It's like you're a chef, and you have all these different ingredients to work with, right? The Fool is like the excitement of trying a new recipe. The Moon is like the secret spices that add depth and flavor. The Magician is like the skill and technique you use to prepare the dish. The Nine of Swords is like the fear of messing it up. And the Ace of Wands is like the inspiration to create something amazing. And temperance is like the art of balancing all those different flavors and textures to create a dish that's both delicious and nourishing. So, how do you actually do temperance, right? How do you bring more balance and harmony into your life? Well, first of all, it's about being mindful, about paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. It's about noticing when you're feeling out of balance and then taking steps to correct it. Like, if you're feeling stressed, take a break. If you're feeling bored, try something new. If you're feeling lonely, reach out to a friend. It's about listening to your body and your intuition and responding to your needs with kindness and compassion. And it's also about setting boundaries, right? It's about knowing your limits and saying no to things that drain your energy or compromise your values. It's about protecting your time and your space and making sure you have enough time for self-care and for the things that bring you joy. Because, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's also about practicing gratitude, right? It's about focusing on the good things in your life and appreciating all the blessings you have. It's about noticing the beauty in the everyday moments and finding joy in the simple things. Because, gratitude is a powerful antidote to anxiety and stress. And, don't forget about that clear quartz heart. It's there to help you see clearly, even when things are murky. It's there to illuminate your path and to guide you towards balance and harmony. So, trust your intuition, trust your inner wisdom, and trust that everything is happening for a reason. Because, the universe is always conspiring to support you, even when it doesn't feel like it. So with the Fool, the Moon, the Magician, the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and now Temperance, it's like you're on this incredible journey of self-discovery, you know. There are highs and lows, challenges and triumphs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. But the key is to stay present, to stay open, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. And like, honestly, darling, with that clear quartz heart shining its light on your path, I really feel like you're about to experience a major transformation. This Temperance card is like the key that unlocks the door to inner peace and balance. You just have to be willing to step through it, even with the lingering anxiety and the overwhelming possibilities. But like, what's going to happen next? Is the next card going to bring even more balance and harmony? Or is it going to throw another curveball your way? Ooh, whoa, I'm so excited to find out. Okay, so after all of that, after the Temperance card trying to bring some chill, we get the Page of Wands. Oh my gosh, honey, this is like a breath of fresh air, right? It's like after all that heavy stuff, here comes this burst of youthful energy and excitement. Pages are all about messages, new beginnings, and kind of like dipping your toes into something new, you know. It's like, ooh, what's this all about? I want to explore. It's very much an apprentice energy, a student, a messenger. So the Page of Wands is like, the universe is sending you a message, a little spark of inspiration, and it's up to you to decide what to do with it. I feel like the key to note here is the wand, peace, which is all about your passions, what excites you, what makes you feel alive. It is like the universe is sending you an email saying, hey, remember that thing you wanted to do? Here's your sign. So like, think about this in context, right? We have the Fool taking that leap. Then the Moon exploring the shadows. Then the Magician manifesting. But the Nine of Swords brings the anxiety. The Ace of Wands then gives us new inspiration, and Temperance is asking us to balance everything out. Now the Page of Wands comes along to say, what exactly? Well, it's like after the Temperance card tried to bring all that balance, the universe is like, okay, but don't get too comfortable. Don't get stuck in the status quo. The Page of Wands is here to shake things up a little bit, to remind you that life is meant to be an adventure, that you're meant to be constantly learning and growing, you know? I think more than anything, this is encouragement to actually do something with the new energy. Pages can be passive, like just receiving information, but with the Wands suit. It's about taking action on that information, about putting your passion into motion. Maybe you've been wanting to start a new hobby, or learn a new skill, or travel to a new place, or whatever it is that excites you. This is like the universe nudging you and saying, go for it. What are you waiting for? It's an invitation to explore your creative side, to express yourself in new ways, to share your gifts with the world. Don't be afraid to be a beginner, to make mistakes, to look silly. The Page of Wands is all about embracing the learning process, about having fun along the way, you know? It's very much a yes and kind of energy, like, okay, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm willing to try. I feel like the key to figuring out this message is really going to depend on what you're passionate about, what makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning. And like, this Page of Wands energy is so different from the Temperance energy, right? Temperance is all about slowing down and finding balance, while the Page of Wands is all about speeding up and taking risks. So, how do you reconcile those two? Well, I think it's about finding a new balance, a dynamic balance, you know. It's not about being perfectly still, it's about constantly adjusting and adapting as you move forward. It's about being willing to try new things, but also being mindful of your limits and knowing when to take a break. It is all about listening to your intuition. Let that Moon energy guide you. Okay, so like, what are some possible messages this page could be bringing? Well, maybe it's a literal message, like an email or a phone call or a text message that sparks your interest. It could be an invitation to a workshop or a class or a retreat that aligns with your passions. It could be a chance encounter with someone who inspires you or offers you a new opportunity. It could be a sign from the universe, like a synchronicity or a dream that points you in a new direction. You need to pay attention to those signs. Or maybe the message is more internal, like a sudden flash of insight or a creative idea that pops into your head out of nowhere. It could be a feeling of excitement or inspiration that you can't quite explain, but you know it's important. It is about following that feeling, trusting that it will lead you somewhere amazing. The key is to be open to receiving the message, to be willing to listen to your intuition, and to trust that the universe is guiding you towards your highest good, It's also possible that the Page of Wands is representing you in this situation. Maybe you're the one who's bringing the message to someone else. Maybe you're the one who's inspiring others with your passion and enthusiasm. Maybe you're the one who's starting something new, who's taking a risk, who's embracing the unknown. If that's the case, then this card is a reminder to stay true to yourself, to stay connected to your passions, and to keep shining your light brightly no matter what, darling. I think, too, it's about the type of message. It's not like a serious, heavy message. It's a Wands message. So it's something fun, something creative, something that lights you up. It's not like a message about needing to pay your taxes. It's a message about, hey, there's a cool art class starting downtown, or your favorite band is playing a show next week. It's a message meant to make you smile. It's supposed to be something that makes you feel excited and inspired. But here's the thing, right? With the Nine of Swords still hanging around, you might be tempted to dismiss this message, to say, oh, that's just a silly little thing, it's not important. Or, I don't have time for that, I'm too busy worrying about all my problems. Or, I'm not good enough to do that, I'll just fail. And that's where the Temperance energy comes in, right? Temperance is okay, anxiety, I see you. But we're not going to let you win. We're going to acknowledge this message, we're going to explore it, and we're going to see where it leads us. We're going to explore our passions with balance and intention. Because, sometimes the things that seem the silliest or the most frivolous are actually the most important, Sometimes the things that bring us the most joy are the things that we're most afraid to pursue. So, this is a reminder to not let fear hold you back, to not let anxiety control you, and to not let your inner critic tell you that you're not good enough. You are good enough, darling. You are capable, and you deserve to pursue your passions and to live a life that makes you happy. This is something you deserve to pursue. So how do you balance that spark with grounded action? The Page of Wands, because it's a page, can sometimes get caught up in the idea of something without actually doing anything. They get so excited about a new project, but then they never actually start it, or they start it, and then they give up when it gets too hard. So you need to harness that magician energy, right? To take that spark of inspiration and turn it into something real, something tangible. Don't just dream about it, do it. Take small steps every day towards your goal. Break it down into manageable chunks. And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. I feel like what's really cool here is that the page is such a contrast to the Emperor that I mentioned way earlier. The Emperor is all about structure and rules, and the page is all about breaking free from those things. So maybe this message is about finding a way to incorporate more fun and spontaneity into your life, to let go of some of that control, to allow yourself to be a little bit more playful and childlike, And remember that clear quartz heart. It's there to illuminate your path, to help you see clearly even when things are murky. It's there to amplify your intuition, to guide you towards your highest good. So trust your inner wisdom, trust your gut feelings, and trust that the universe is always conspiring to support you. It's like this clear quartz heart is helping you to see the message in the first place, to recognize it as something special and important. And it's also helping you to stay grounded and focused as you move forward, to not get too carried away by the excitement, and to make sure you're making choices that align with your values and your goals. Because, this whole reading has been about this journey of self-discovery, right? It's about taking that leap of faith, about exploring your inner world, about manifesting your dreams, about overcoming your fears, about finding balance and harmony, and about embracing new opportunities. And this Page of Wands is like the next step on that journey. It's about saying yes to life, about saying yes to your passions, and about saying yes to yourself. It's about believing in your own potential, and about trusting that you have everything you need within you to create the life you want. So, with the Fool, the Moon, the Magician, the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Wands, Temperance, and now the Page of Wands, it's like you're on this incredible adventure, darling. There are highs and lows, challenges and triumphs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. But the key is to stay present, to stay open, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. And honestly, with that clear quartz heart shining its light on your path, I really feel like you're on the verge of something amazing. This Page of Wands is like a little key that unlocks a door to a whole new world of possibilities. You just have to be brave enough to turn the key and step through the door. What is on the other side of the door? But what's going to happen next? Ooh, I am so excited. What card is coming next? I feel like it could be anything at this point, right? Ooh. Okay, so darling, after this whole roller coaster, right? The Fool leaping, the Moon revealing, the Magician creating, the Nine of Swords worrying, the Ace of Wands inspiring, Temperance balancing, and the Page of Wands messaging. We finally arrive at the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, this is like the ultimate boss level, you know. This card is all about abundance, stability, and really reaping the rewards of all your hard work. Think of this as the success you've been working towards. This king, he's not just rich, he's secure. He's not just powerful, he's wise. He's sitting on his throne, surrounded by all the symbols of wealth and prosperity, but he's not flaunting it, you know. He's grounded, he's generous, and he's using his resources to create a better world for himself and for others. He is the ultimate provider. After everything we've been through, this feels like such a sigh of relief, right? Finally, some solid ground to stand on. But it's not just about financial wealth, though that's definitely part of it, you know. The King of Pentacles is also about inner wealth, about having a deep sense of security and self-worth that comes from knowing who you are and what you're capable of. Let's break this down, though, right? How does this king connect to all those other cards we saw? Well, think about the Fool. The Fool is all about taking risks, about jumping into the unknown without a plan. And while that's exciting, it can also be a little bit reckless, right? The King of Pentacles has learned from those past risks. He's still open to new opportunities, but he's also careful, he's strategic, and he knows how to manage his resources wisely. He doesn't just gamble everything away on a whim, you know. He invests in things that are going to bring him long-term stability and security. And what about the Moon? The Moon is all about the subconscious, about those hidden fears and insecurities that can hold us back. The King of Pentacles has faced those fears, he's delved into the shadows, and he's emerged stronger and wiser as a result. He's built his kingdom on a solid foundation of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. He knows his weaknesses, but he doesn't let them define him. He uses them as opportunities for growth and learning. Then we have the Magician, who is all about manifesting your dreams, about using your skills and talents to create the life you want. The King of Pentacles has mastered those skills, he's honed his craft, and he's created lasting success. But he's not just focused on his own personal gain. He's also using his power to help others, to create opportunities for those who are less fortunate, and to leave a positive legacy for future generations. And oh honey, the Nine of Swords. That card is all about anxiety, worry, and those sleepless nights spent dwelling on all the things that could go wrong. The King of Pentacles has overcome that anxiety. He's learned to trust in himself, to trust in the universe, and to know that even when things get tough, he has the inner strength and resilience to weather the storm. He's built a sense of inner peace and stability that can't be shaken by external circumstances. Then the Ace of Wands. Oh my gosh, that card is all about new beginnings, inspiration, and that initial spark of passion. The King of Pentacles has taken that spark and nurtured it into a roaring flame. He's turned his ideas into tangible results. He's built a successful business. He's created a beautiful home. He's surrounded himself with loving relationships. He's living a life that's both fulfilling and prosperous. This is what can come from embracing those feelings. Temperance comes along, which is all about balance, harmony, and finding the middle ground in all things. The King of Pentacles has mastered this art. He knows how to balance work and play, wealth and generosity, ambition and contentment. He's not greedy, he's not a workaholic, and he's not afraid to enjoy the fruits of his labor. He understands that true abundance comes from living a balanced and harmonious life. He takes the time to care for himself and those around him. And that little page of wands, bringing that message, that spark. The King of Pentacles, he didn't ignore that spark. He took that message and built something great from it. He's nurtured that initial idea, that initial passion, into something real and lasting. The message has been heard and acknowledged. And remember that clear quartz heart? It's shining so brightly on this king. This is all about clarity, right? Seeing the path ahead. The king embodies that clarity. He knows what he wants, he knows how to get it, and he's not afraid to work hard to achieve his goals. He is a leader. So, what does this mean for you, darling? Well, it means that you have the potential to achieve this level of success and stability in your own life. You have the skills, you have the talents, and you have the inner strength to create a life that's both prosperous and fulfilling. But it's not going to happen overnight, you know? It's going to take hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn from your mistakes. But you are capable of learning. Practically speaking, this could manifest in so many ways. Maybe it's about your career. Maybe you're finally ready to take that leap and start your own business. Or maybe you're ready to climb the corporate ladder and reach a new level of leadership. The King of Pentacles is telling you that you have what it takes to succeed, but you need to be strategic, you need to be patient, and you need to be willing to put in the work. Or maybe it's about your finances. Maybe you're ready to get serious about saving and investing, or maybe you're ready to buy a home or make a major purchase. The King of Pentacles is telling you to be responsible with your money, to invest in things that are going to bring you long-term security, and to avoid unnecessary risks. Or maybe it's about your relationships. Maybe you're ready to commit to a long-term partnership, or maybe you're ready to build stronger and more meaningful connections with your friends and family. The King of Pentacles is telling you to be loyal, to be supportive, and to be generous with your love and your time. Or maybe it's about your personal growth. Maybe you're ready to embrace a new level of self-awareness, to overcome your fears, and to live a life that's more authentic and fulfilling. The King of Pentacles is telling you to trust in yourself, to believe in your own potential, and to never give up on your dreams. But here's the thing, right? It's not always easy to embody this King of Pentacles energy. There will be challenges along the way. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when you feel like you're not good enough, or when you feel like you're never going to reach your goals. This is part of the journey. What if anxiety comes back from the Nine of Swords? If that worry creeps in, go back to the basics. Remember that you've overcome it before, so you can do it again. Focus on what you have instead of what you lack. Think of all the steps you've taken to get where you are now. This king energy is not just handed to you. It is built and it is earned. So what do you do then, darling? You remember all the lessons you've learned along the way. You remember the courage of the fool, the intuition of the moon, the manifestation power of the magician, the resilience you found within the Nine of Swords, the inspiration of the Ace of Wands, the balance of temperance, and the enthusiasm from the page. And most importantly, you trust in yourself, and you trust in the universe. The King of Pentacles is not just a destination, it's a journey. It's about constantly striving to be the best version of yourself, to create a life that's both prosperous and fulfilling, and to use your resources to make the world a better place. So, embrace this King of Pentacles energy, darling. Claim your power, claim your abundance, and claim your birthright to live a life that's filled with joy, love, and prosperity. You deserve it. The cards have aligned. The journey has been long, but now you have your reward. Embrace this time. And with that clear quartz heart shining its light on your path, I know you're going to do amazing things. I believe in you. The universe believes in you. Now it's time for you to believe in yourself. Go out there and create the life you've always dreamed of. I am so proud of you. Hey there, you guys. Welcome to your reading, and thanks so much for tuning in. If you chose the Moonstone butterfly pile, this reading is all about emerging truths and transformations that are in bloom. Think about the butterfly's journey, a complete metamorphosis. And Moonstone, it's all about centering yourself, finding your balance, you know. So let's dive in and see what truths are about to emerge for you. All right, so we have the Magician, the Lovers, and Strength. Wow, okay, my initial read on this, looking at them all together, is like, someone is really coming into their own power, especially in the area of relationships, and it's through finding their own inner strength, their own, like, ability to be vulnerable, you know? So let's start with the Magician. Okay, the Magician is all about potential. It's about having all the tools you need right in front of you to create the life that you want. Like, look at this card, right? They've got the wand, the cup, the sword, the pentacle, all the elements are there. This person is feeling incredibly resourceful, like they can manifest anything they set their mind to. There is an I can do anything energy, you know. So this could be about someone who's feeling super inspired and motivated to take action in their life. Maybe they've been thinking about starting a new project, pursuing a new relationship, or just generally leveling up, and they're finally feeling like they have the confidence and the skills to make it happen. And it's not just about having the skills, but also about knowing how to use them. The Magician is a master of manifestation. They know how to focus their energy and direct it towards their goals. So this could be about someone who's really good at networking, at communicating, at selling themselves, you know. They know how to work the system to get what they want. But I also want to say that the Magician can also be a bit of an illusionist. Like, they're so good at presenting themselves in a certain way that it can be hard to see the real person underneath. So, this could also be about someone who's putting on a show, trying to impress you or someone else. Maybe they're not being completely honest about their intentions, or maybe they're just trying to project an image of confidence that they don't actually feel. You know what I mean? It's like the Magician has all this power, right? But it's important to use it wisely and ethically. Don't use your magic to manipulate or deceive others. Use it to create positive change in the world, to help others, to manifest your dreams in a way that benefits everyone involved. So that's something important to keep in mind. Also, with the Moonstone butterfly, it's all about emerging truths, right? This could be about someone who's finally seeing their own potential, their own magic, for the first time. Maybe they've been doubting themselves for a long time, but now they're starting to realize that they have what it takes to create the life that they want. And it's like a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. Or, you know what? Thinking about the emerging truths aspect, maybe they're realizing that they haven't been using their power ethically in the past. Maybe they've been a bit manipulative, a bit deceitful, and now they're starting to see the consequences of their actions. This could be a wake-up call for them, a chance to change their ways and start using their magic for good. It's also possible that this is you, right? Like, maybe you're the one who's feeling empowered and ready to manifest your desires. Or maybe you're the one who's realizing that you need to be more mindful of how you're using your power. Whatever the case may be, the Magician is a powerful card that speaks to your potential and your ability to create the life that you want. And then we have the Lovers. Oh, this is such a beautiful card. It's all about choices, partnerships, and deep connections, you know? So this could be about a romantic relationship, of course, but it could also be about a friendship, a business partnership, or even a connection with yourself. It's about finding someone or something that aligns with your values and that helps you grow and evolve. The Lovers is often associated with soulmates, with that feeling of instant connection and recognition. Like you've known this person forever, you know? So this could be about someone who's entering your life and who feels incredibly familiar and aligned with you. Someone who just gets you, you know? But the Lovers isn't just about romance. It's also about making important decisions, especially decisions that involve your heart. This card asks you to align your choices with your values, to choose what feels true and authentic to you, even if it's difficult. It's like, are you staying true to yourself? So maybe this person, represented by the Magician, is someone you have a choice to make about. Like, do you bring them into your life in a deeper way? Do you partner with them on this project? Or maybe it's a choice they're making about you. Are they going to commit? Are they going to choose to be with you? And it goes back to that emerging truth, right? The Lovers is about seeing things clearly, seeing the truth about your relationships and your connections with others. Maybe you've been avoiding a difficult conversation, or maybe you've been in denial about someone's true intentions. This card is a reminder to be honest with yourself and with others, to face the truth, even if it hurts. And thinking about the butterfly imagery, maybe this is about transforming your relationships. Maybe you're ready to shed old patterns and create more authentic and fulfilling connections. It's like letting go of what no longer serves you and embracing new possibilities, new ways of relating to others. You know, I'm also getting this feeling that this could be about a choice between two different paths. Like maybe you're torn between two different relationships, two different career opportunities, or two different ways of living your life. The Lovers is asking you to listen to your heart and choose the path that feels most aligned with your soul. And it's not always easy, right? It can be scary to step away from what's familiar and comfortable, but sometimes it's necessary in order to grow and evolve. This could also be about integrating different parts of yourself. Like, maybe you've been suppressing certain aspects of your personality, and now you're ready to embrace them and bring them into harmony. It's like integrating your masculine and feminine energies, your logical and intuitive sides, your light and your shadow. The Lovers is such a powerful card, and it speaks to the importance of connection, choice, and alignment. It's a reminder to choose love, to choose authenticity, and to choose the path that feels most true to you. And finally, we have Strength. Oh, this is such a powerful card too. It's all about inner power, compassion, and gentle control. It's not about brute force or aggression. It's about mastering your emotions, finding courage in vulnerability, and leading with your heart. Like, look at this card, right? You see the woman gently holding the lion. She's not fighting it or trying to dominate it. She's connecting with it on a deeper level, understanding its needs, and guiding it with love. That's the essence of strength. It's about taming your inner beast, your fears, your insecurities, with compassion and understanding. So this could be about someone who's been through a lot of challenges in their life, but they've emerged stronger and more resilient. They've learned how to navigate difficult situations with grace and compassion, and they're not afraid to show their vulnerability. And with the Magician and the Lovers here, it's like they're using their inner strength to manifest the relationships that they want, to make choices that align with their values, and to create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. They're not letting fear hold them back. They're stepping into their power and creating the life of their dreams, you know. It's also about finding strength in your softer side, in your empathy, in your ability to connect with others on a deeper level. The world needs more people who are willing to lead with their hearts, who are willing to be vulnerable, who are willing to show compassion. And this card is a reminder that true strength comes from within. Thinking about the emerging truths, this could be about discovering your own inner strength, realizing that you're capable of more than you thought possible. Maybe you've been doubting yourself for a long time, but now you're starting to see that you have the courage, the resilience, and the compassion to overcome any challenge. And it's like, wow, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Or maybe it's about someone else recognizing your strength, seeing your inner power and being drawn to it. They see your resilience, your compassion, your ability to handle anything that comes your way. They're inspired by you, and they want to be around you, you know. And with the butterfly theme, this is all about transforming your relationship with yourself, with your own inner strength. Maybe you're learning to love and accept yourself, flaws and all. You're learning to be kinder to yourself, to treat yourself with compassion, and to celebrate your unique gifts. This card is a reminder that you are strong, you are resilient, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. You have the power to overcome any challenge, to manifest your dreams, and to create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Okay, so pulling all three cards together, the Magician, the Lovers, and Strength, it feels like this is a journey of self-discovery and empowered relationships. You know, someone is really stepping into their power, making choices that align with their values, and finding strength in their vulnerability. It's like the beginning of a beautiful transformation, a blooming of truth and authenticity. It's like all the pieces are coming together, and they're ready to create the life that they've always dreamed of. Now, Let's see how this energy plays out with the next card, because, wow, I'm excited. Okay, wow, okay. So after all that empowering energy, the Magician, the Lovers, and strength, we get the Five of Swords. What? Okay, that definitely throws a wrench in the works, doesn't it? Like, what's this conflict doing here? This wasn't what I was expecting at all, to be honest. But you know, that's how tarot works, right? It keeps you on your toes. It's like life throws you curveballs, and the cards reflect that. So the Five of Swords, traditionally, is about conflict, defeat, victory at a cost. You know, someone walking away from a battle, but not necessarily in a good way. Like more like a Pyrrhic victory almost, you know? So how does this fit in after someone's been embracing their power? That's the thing. Like, are they being challenged? Are they creating the conflict? Is someone else trying to undermine them? What's going on? Okay, let's dive into this Five of Swords a little deeper, because I definitely feel like we need to unpack this. It's not necessarily a straightforward card anyway, you know? So the Five of Swords at its core is about conflict. But it's not always about physical conflict, you know? It can be about mental conflict, emotional conflict, a clash of egos, a power struggle. And it often implies that someone is not playing fair, you know? Like, there's some sort of manipulation, deception, or hidden agendas involved. Someone is trying to win at all costs, even if it means hurting others in the process. So in the context of someone stepping into their power represented by the Magician, the Lovers, and strength, is it possible that they're encountering resistance? Like, maybe not everyone is happy about their newfound confidence and success, you know? Maybe there are people who feel threatened by them, who are trying to bring them down a notch. That's a real possibility. Or, you know what? Maybe the conflict is coming from within. Maybe they're struggling with their own shadow side, their own insecurities, their own fears. The Magician can be a bit of an illusionist, right? So maybe they're putting on a brave face, but inside they're dealing with a lot of self-doubt and inner turmoil, and that's what this reflects, you know. And with the Lovers in the mix, maybe the conflict is related to a relationship. Maybe there are disagreements, misunderstandings, or betrayals that are causing tension and pain. The Lovers is all about choices, and maybe someone is making a choice that's hurting someone else, or maybe they're feeling torn between two different paths, and that's creating internal conflict, you know. And strength. Well, is their strength being tested? Are they being challenged to use their compassion and understanding to navigate this conflict? Are they being tempted to resort to aggression or manipulation? Strength isn't about brute force. It's about gentle control, about taming your inner beast. So maybe this card is a reminder that they need to stay true to their values, even in the face of adversity, you know. Okay, so let's really break this down and connect it back to the previous cards, because that's where the real story is, right? With the Magician, we talked about the potential for manipulation. So could this Five of Swords be showing that the person is actually using their Magician energy in a negative way? Are they being deceitful or manipulative to get what they want? Are they winning arguments through trickery or intimidation? It's like the Magician has all the tools they need, but are they using them ethically? Are they considering the consequences of their actions? Are they hurting others in the process of achieving their goals? That's not great, you know. Or maybe the Magician energy is being used against them. Maybe someone else is trying to manipulate them, to deceive them, to undermine their efforts. They might feel like they're in a constant battle to protect themselves, to defend their ideas, to stand up for what they believe in. It's like they're using their Magician skills to fight off these attacks, to stay one step ahead of their enemies. Okay, that's interesting too. And then we have the Lovers. Is the choice they're making creating this conflict? Like, maybe they're choosing a path that's causing friction with someone they care about, or maybe they're torn between two different relationships, and that's creating a lot of tension and heartache, you know. It's like the Lovers is asking them to align their choices with their values, but maybe they're struggling to do that in this situation. Maybe they're compromising their integrity, or maybe they're sacrificing their own happiness for the sake of someone else. Or maybe the conflict is within the relationship itself. Maybe there are disagreements, betrayals, or power struggles that are threatening to tear the relationship apart. The Lovers is all about connection, but maybe that connection is being strained by this conflict. They might be feeling disconnected, misunderstood, or unappreciated, And then we have Strength. Are they finding it difficult to maintain their composure in the face of this conflict? Are they being tempted to lash out, to lose their temper, to resort to aggression? It's like Strength is asking them to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be gentle. But maybe they're feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, and angry, and it's hard to stay calm and centered. Or maybe they're using their strength to stand up for themselves, to protect their boundaries, to defend their values. They're not being aggressive, but they're not backing down either. They're using their inner power to navigate this conflict with grace and integrity. They're refusing to be intimidated, manipulated, or controlled. Okay, that's a better spin, right? So who does this Five of Swords represent? Is it the person we've been talking about all along, or is it someone else in their life? Are they the one causing the conflict, or are they on the receiving end of it? Or both? Because that's always possible, right? Maybe they're contributing to the conflict in some way, even if they don't realize it. If it's the person we've been talking about, maybe they're the one who's being manipulative or deceitful. Maybe they're the one who's trying to win at all costs, even if it means hurting others. This could be a wake-up call for them, a chance to reevaluate their behavior and make amends, But if it's someone else, maybe they're the one who's being targeted or undermined. Maybe they're the one who's feeling defeated and demoralized. This could be a reminder for them to stand up for themselves, to assert their boundaries, to not let others walk all over them. Or maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe they're both contributing to the conflict in different ways. Maybe they need to communicate more openly, to understand each other's perspectives, to find a way to resolve their differences peacefully. That's the ideal, right? And tying it back to the emerging truths and the Moonstone butterfly, what truth is being revealed through this conflict? What is it showing them about themselves, about their relationships, about their life? Is it showing them that they need to be more assertive? Is it showing them that they need to be more compassionate? Is it showing them that they need to let go of something that's no longer serving them? The Moonstone is all about centering yourself, about finding your balance. So, how can they use that energy to navigate this conflict? How can they stay grounded, calm, and centered in the midst of the storm? How can they maintain their integrity, their values, and their compassion, even when things are difficult? Is this conflict a necessary part of their transformation? Is it pushing them to grow, to evolve, to become a stronger, more authentic version of themselves? Sometimes the most difficult experiences are the ones that teach us the most. Wow, okay. So this Five of Swords definitely adds a layer of complexity to the reading, doesn't it? It's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's conflict, there's struggle, there's the potential for manipulation and deceit, But it's also an opportunity for growth, for self-discovery, for finding your inner strength. So I'm really curious to see how this conflict resolves itself. What's the next card going to reveal? Because, wow, I really have no idea. Okay, so after that Five of Swords chaos, we pull the Queen of Swords. Phew, okay, that's intense, right? I mean, we go from conflict and potential defeat to, well, a queen who is not messing around. So what does this mean? Okay, my first thought is that we need to understand who this Queen of Swords is in this situation. Is she you? Is she them? Is she someone else entirely? Because that's going to change everything, And how is she dealing with this Five of Swords energy? Is she causing the conflict? Is she trying to resolve it? Is she above it all, observing with a detached, intellectual eye? So many possibilities. This is exciting. Okay, let's start with the basics. The Queen of Swords, traditionally, is all about intellect, clarity, and independence. She's sharp, she's witty, she's honest, sometimes brutally so, She values truth above all else, and she's not afraid to speak her mind, even if it's unpopular. She's got strong boundaries, and she doesn't suffer fools gladly. But, and this is a big but, she can also come across as cold, detached, and even a little bit harsh, She can be so focused on logic and reason that she forgets about emotions and feelings. So, is that what we're dealing with here? Is someone being too logical, too detached in this situation? Is someone prioritizing truth over compassion? That's what we have to figure out, you know. Now, how does this Queen of Swords interact with that Five of Swords energy? Okay, so one possibility is that she's the one who won the battle in the Five of Swords. She used her intellect and her sharp wit to outsmart her opponents, but at what cost? Did she sacrifice her relationships in the process? Did she hurt someone's feelings? Did she create more conflict than she resolved? It's like she might have won the battle, but she lost the war, you know. Or, and this is another possibility, she's the one who was defeated in the Five of Swords. She tried to use logic and reason to resolve the conflict, but it didn't work. She was outmaneuvered, outsmarted, or maybe just overwhelmed by the emotions involved. And now she's feeling disillusioned, cynical, and maybe even a little bit bitter. But wait, there's another way to look at it. Maybe the Queen of Swords is offering a solution to the Five of Swords conflict. Maybe she's the one who can cut through all the BS and get to the heart of the matter. She can see the situation clearly, she can identify the underlying issues, and she can offer a logical, practical solution. But, and this is important, she needs to do it with compassion and empathy. She can't just come in with her sharp intellect and start telling people what to do. She needs to listen, she needs to understand, and she needs to offer her advice with kindness and understanding, you know. Okay, so how does this Queen of Swords connect back to the Magician? Well, remember how we said the Magician can be a bit of an illusionist? Maybe the Queen of Swords is seeing through that illusion. Maybe she's recognizing that someone is not being completely honest, that they're putting on a show, that they're trying to manipulate the situation. And she's not having it. She's calling them out on their BS, she's demanding the truth, and she's not afraid to challenge their authority. It's like she's using her Queen of Swords energy to cut through the Magician's illusions. Or maybe the Queen of Swords is using her own magician skills, her own ability to manifest and create, but in a more detached and intellectual way. She's not as emotionally invested as the Magician might be. She's more focused on the practical aspects of the situation, on the logical steps that need to be taken to achieve her goals. It's like she's using her intellect to manifest her desires, rather than her emotions. And what about the lovers? How does the Queen of Swords relate to that card of choices and partnerships? Okay, so maybe she's the one who's making a difficult choice, a choice that's based on logic and reason rather than emotion. Maybe she's choosing to end a relationship, to leave a job, to move to a new city, because it's the most logical thing to do, even if it's painful. She's not letting her heart rule her head. She's making a decision that's based on her intellect and her values, even if it's hard, you know. Or maybe she's the one who's helping someone else make a difficult choice. She's offering them her advice, her perspective, her logical reasoning, to help them see the situation more clearly. She's not telling them what to do, but she's giving them the tools they need to make their own decision, a decision that's aligned with their values and their goals. But, and this is a big one, maybe the Queen of Swords is struggling to connect with others on an emotional level because of that Lover's card. Maybe she's so focused on logic and reason that she's forgetting about the importance of connection and intimacy. She's building walls around her heart, she's keeping people at a distance, and she's struggling to form meaningful relationships. It's like she needs to learn how to balance her intellect with her emotions, how to open herself up to vulnerability and connection, you know. And finally, strength. How does the Queen of Swords relate to that card of inner power and compassion? Okay, so maybe she's using her intellect to control her emotions, to keep them in check. She's not letting her feelings overwhelm her. She's staying calm, she's staying centered, and she's using her logic to navigate difficult situations. It's like she's taming her inner beast with her intellect, rather than her compassion. Or, and this is another possibility, she's the one who needs to learn how to be more compassionate, how to connect with others on a deeper level. She's so focused on her own strength and independence that she's forgetting about the importance of empathy and understanding. She needs to learn how to lead with her heart, how to show kindness and compassion, even to those who are different from her, you know. But you know what? Maybe she's embodying strength in a different way, Maybe she's using her Queen of Swords energy to stand up for what she believes in, to fight for justice, to protect the vulnerable. She's not being aggressive or violent, but she's using her intellect and her sharp wit to challenge injustice and to advocate for those who can't speak for themselves. It's like she's using her strength to fight for truth and justice, you know. Okay, so tying it all back to the emerging truths and the Moonstone butterfly, what truth is the Queen of Swords revealing? Is she showing you the truth about yourself, about your relationships, about your life? Is she helping you to see things more clearly, to understand the underlying issues, to make better decisions? The Moonstone is all about centering yourself, about finding your balance. So, how can you use the Queen of Swords energy to center yourself in this situation? How can you stay grounded, calm, and logical, even in the midst of chaos and conflict? How can you use your intellect to navigate difficult emotions and to make choices that are aligned with your values? And who is this Queen of Swords anyway? Is she you? Is she them? Is she someone else entirely? Because that's going to change everything. If she's you, maybe you need to embrace your intellect and your independence, but also be mindful of your emotions and your relationships. If she's them, maybe they're being too logical or detached, and you need to find a way to connect with them on a deeper level. And if she's someone else, maybe they're offering you a valuable perspective, or maybe they're creating more conflict than they're resolving. Okay, wow, I'm still not sure what to make of this Queen of Swords, but she's definitely adding a new layer of complexity to the reading. I am so excited to see what the final card reveals. Okay, so after all that Five of Swords drama and then the cool, detached Queen of Swords, we pull the Sun. Oh my gosh, that's like such a relief almost, but also like a little confusing, right? I mean, the Sun is like pure joy and happiness. It's like the ultimate optimistic, positive card. It's about success and abundance and like feeling good in your own skin. So after all that conflict and then that intellectual energy, is this like a resolution? Is this happiness achieved? Is this them finally breaking through all that other stuff? Or is it something completely different? I don't know, this is why I love tarot, you know? It keeps you guessing. So yeah, the Sun after all that. Let's dive in because wow, I have no idea what this means yet, haha. Okay, so the Sun, like in general, is all about joy, optimism, and success, like I said, right? It's about feeling confident and radiant, like you're shining from within. It's about like celebrating your achievements and enjoying the simple pleasures of life. The Sun is such a bright and cheerful card. It often indicates a time of happiness, fulfillment, and positive energy. It's like everything is going your way, you know. It's also about feeling connected to your inner child, like that sense of playfulness and innocence, you know. It's about embracing life with enthusiasm and joy. You feel warm, content, and optimistic about the future. You know what I mean? You just know things are going to be good. So, thinking about that Five of Swords energy, the conflict, the potential defeat, does the Sun mean that the conflict is resolved? Like, did they overcome the challenges? Did they find a way to win without sacrificing their integrity, their values? Is this, like, the happy ending after a struggle? Or is it more nuanced than that? Maybe the Sun is shining on them despite the conflict, you know. Like maybe they're still dealing with challenges, but they're choosing to focus on the positive, to find joy in the midst of the storm. It could be that they've learned a valuable lesson from the conflict, that they've grown stronger and more resilient, and that's what the Sun is reflecting. They're, like, grateful for the experience, even though it was difficult, you know. And then, what about that Queen of Swords? She's all about intellect and detachment, right? So, does the Sun mean that she's finally softened? Has she opened herself up to joy and connection? Or is this happiness achieved through her intellect? Is she, like, happy because she's figured something out, because she's solved a problem, because she's gained clarity? Maybe she's using her intellect to create a life that's fulfilling and joyful, you know? She's, like, strategically planning her happiness. But maybe she's still a little detached, even in her happiness. Maybe she's enjoying her success from a distance, without fully immersing herself in the emotions, you know? Like, she's happy, but she's still keeping her guard up a little bit. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, things are good now, but I'm still ready for anything. Okay, let's tie this all back to those first three cards. The Magician, the Lovers, and Strength. So, with the Magician, this could mean that they're manifesting their joy. They're using their power and their skills to create a life that's filled with happiness and abundance. They're like deliberately choosing to focus on the positive and to attract good things into their lives. They're putting their intentions out there, and the universe is responding with sunshine. You know, it's like they're using their magic for good to create joy not just for themselves, but for others too. And with the Lovers, the Sun could mean that they've made the right choice, that they've chosen a path that's aligned with their heart and their soul. They're in a relationship that's fulfilling and joyful, or they've made a decision that's bringing them immense happiness. It's like they've followed their heart and it's led them to sunshine and strength. The Sun could mean that they've found inner peace and contentment. They've tamed their inner demons, they've embraced their vulnerability, and they're radiating joy from within. It's like they've found strength in their happiness, and their happiness is making them even stronger. They're confident, resilient, and full of love, you know. Okay, so like thinking about different possibilities, right? Is this person achieving happiness, or are they realizing they already have it? Are they like finally reaching a goal they've been working towards, or are they suddenly appreciating the simple things in life that they've always had? Are they bringing joy to others, or are they focused on their own happiness? Are they being selfish, or are they sharing their sunshine with the world? Is the sun shining on them, or are they being the sun? Like, are they radiating joy and positivity to everyone around them? Are they inspiring others to find their own happiness? It's so interesting to think about all the different angles here, you know. And then, like, relating it back to the emerging truths and the Moonstone butterfly, what truth is being revealed through this happiness? Is it that they're worthy of joy? Is it that they're capable of creating a fulfilling life? Is it that they're loved and appreciated? Is it that they have everything they need within themselves? The Moonstone is all about centering yourself, about finding your balance. So how does this new sense of joy center them? Does it ground them? Does it give them a sense of peace and stability? Does it help them to connect with their intuition and their inner wisdom? It's like the Moonstone is helping them to embrace their happiness and to use it to create a more balanced and fulfilling life, you know. Wow, this Sun card really changes everything, doesn't it? After all that conflict and uncertainty, it's like a burst of light and hope. But it also raises so many questions. Is this happiness genuine? Is it sustainable? Is it coming from the right place? How will they use this newfound joy? And what does it mean for their relationships, their goals, their future? Oh my gosh, I'm so curious about the next card. I feel like it's going to reveal the real story here, you know. Is this a true happy ending, or is there still more to the journey? Oh, I can't wait. Okay, so wow, after all that, we get Judgment. Like, whoa, okay, that's a big card, right? I mean, this isn't like a subtle nudge. This is like a trumpet call, an awakening, you know? So what does this mean in the context of everything we've already seen? Like, is this a final verdict? Is this a call to action? Is this like a major life review? I don't know, but I'm super excited to find out. Like, this is a game changer, right? Okay, so in general, Judgment is all about like rebirth, renewal, and like answering a call, you know. It's about like waking up to a higher purpose and recognizing your true potential, and it often involves a major turning point in your life. You are being called to step into who you're really meant to be, you know. It's like the universe is saying, okay, it's time. Time to rise and shine. Like, you're being asked to evaluate your past, to learn from your mistakes, and to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose, you know. It's a card of reckoning, a card of honesty, but also a card of hope, you know. 'Cause it's like, even if you've made mistakes, you have the power to change, to grow, to evolve, you know. Like, it's never too late. So okay, how does this fit with the previous cards? With the Sun? Is this Judgment like affirming that joy? Like saying, yes, you're on the right path. Keep going, you deserve this happiness. Or is it like a warning? Like, okay, you're happy now, but have you really learned the lessons you needed to learn? Are you truly living in alignment with your highest self? You know, is it possible that there's some hidden truth that needs to be revealed before they can fully embrace the Sun's joy? And what about that Queen of Swords? She's all about intellect and clarity, right? So is Judgment asking her to use her intellect to evaluate her life? To take an honest look at her choices and their consequences? To, judge herself fairly and objectively? Or maybe it's about being judged by others. Maybe her sharp tongue and her detached demeanor have rubbed some people the wrong way, and now she's facing the consequences, She may need to soften her approach, to be more compassionate, to be more understanding, It's even if she's right, is she being kind? And then, with the Five of Swords, oh man, does Judgment mean someone is finally being held accountable for their actions? Is the manipulator getting their comeuppance? Is the person who was wronged finally getting justice? Is this the universe stepping in to restore balance? Or is it about self-judgment? Is the person recognizing their own role in the conflict and taking responsibility for their actions? Are they finally admitting that they were wrong and making amends? 'Cause that would be huge, that would be a major turning point right there. So let's really connect this to the Magician, the Lovers, and Strength, because that's where the core energy is, right? Okay, so with the Magician, is this a call to use their powers for good? Have they been tempted to use their skills for selfish gain, to manipulate others to create illusions? And now Judgment is okay, knock it off. It's time to use your magic for the benefit of all. Or is it about recognizing their true potential? Maybe they've been underestimating themselves, doubting their abilities, and Judgment is wake up, you're capable of so much more. It's time to step into your power and create the life you were meant to live. 'Cause that's a total possibility too. And with the Lovers, is Judgment asking them to make a choice? Is there a relationship or a path that they've been avoiding, and now they're being forced to confront it? Is it time to commit? Is it time to let go? Is it time to choose love over fear? Or is it about recognizing the importance of love and connection? Maybe they've been so focused on their own goals and ambitions that they've neglected their relationships, and Judgment is hey, don't forget what really matters. It's the people in your life who love and support you. Or what if Judgment is about judging a relationship? Is this the right person for them? Are they truly compatible? Are they bringing out the best in each other? Are they aligned on a soul level? It's a serious relationship audit, And then with Strength, is this about finding the courage to be vulnerable? Have they been hiding behind a facade of strength, afraid to show their true feelings? And now Judgment is okay, it's time to drop the act. It's time to be real. It's time to let your guard down and connect with others on a deeper level. Or is it about recognizing their own inner strength? Maybe they've been through a lot of challenges, but they've emerged stronger and more resilient, and Judgment is look at you. You're amazing. You've overcome so much. You're a warrior, and you're ready for whatever comes next. Or is it about judging how they use their strength? Are they using their power to dominate and control others, or are they using it to uplift and inspire? Are they leading with compassion and empathy, or are they being harsh and judgmental? Are they really embodying the true meaning of strength? See, this is what I mean. There are so many possibilities, right? So okay, let's think about the emerging truths and the Moonstone butterfly. What truth is being revealed through this Judgment card? Is it a truth about themselves? Is it a truth about their relationships? Is it a truth about their life path? The Moonstone is all about centering yourself, about finding your balance. So how can they use this Judgment energy to center themselves? How can they stay grounded, calm, and focused in the midst of this major life review? How can they maintain their integrity and their values, even when faced with difficult choices? I wonder, is it possible that this Judgment is actually a good thing? Maybe they've been feeling lost and confused, and this is the universe giving them a clear sense of direction. Maybe they've been waiting for a sign, and this is it. It's okay, I know what I need to do now. I'm ready to take action and create the life I've always dreamed of. That would be amazing, right? A true awakening, a true transformation. But okay, let's not get too carried away. It's also possible that this Judgment is a warning, a wake-up call. Maybe they've been heading down the wrong path, and this is the universe saying, "Hey, you need to change course. You're about to make a big mistake." That wouldn't be fun, but it would be, like, super important, 'Cause sometimes you need that kick in the pants to get you back on track. So I am so curious about who is doing the judging in this situation. Is it them judging themselves? Are they being judged by someone else? Is it fate? Is it just a matter of cause and effect? Are they reaping what they've sown? It's like, what's the source of this judgment and what does it mean for their future? Okay, wow, this judgment card is so intense. I feel like it's like amplifying everything we've already seen and pushing it to the next level. There are so many possibilities here, and I am so excited to see how it all plays out, What's the final card going to reveal? Is it going to be a happy ending? Is it going to be a tough lesson? Is it going to be a new beginning? I can't wait. Okay, so, wow, after everything we've been through in this reading with all the twists and turns, we finally arrive at the Seven of Pentacles. And that's, like, really interesting, right? Because if you think about it, we started with this burst of potential, this I can do anything energy with the Magician. Then we had the choices and connections of the Lovers, and then that inner strength. But then things got complicated, right? We had that conflict with the Five of Swords, that cool detachment with the Queen of Swords, but then, thank goodness, the sun came out, bringing joy and optimism. But even then, there was this call to judgment, this need to really evaluate everything and see where we stand. So after all of that, what does the Seven of Pentacles tell us? What's the final piece of the puzzle? Well, in general, the Seven of Pentacles is all about, like, patience, investment, and long-term vision, It's about putting in the work, planting the seeds, and then waiting patiently for the harvest. It's about understanding that success doesn't happen overnight, that it takes time, effort, and dedication to build something lasting, Like, look at this card, right? You see the person looking at their garden. They're not rushing things, they're not panicking. They're just observing, tending, and trusting that their hard work will eventually pay off. So, in the context of everything else we've seen, does this mean that it's time to just, like, sit back and wait? Is it about letting things unfold naturally after all that intense energy and those big decisions? Is it about trusting the process and knowing that everything is happening in divine timing? Yeah, maybe. But I think it's more than that. I think it's about actively investing in that future, It's about taking the lessons you've learned, the choices you've made, and using them to build a solid foundation for your future happiness and success. It's about understanding that this isn't just a one-time thing. It's not just about achieving a goal and then being done with it. It's about creating a sustainable way of life, a way of being that supports your growth, your joy, and your well-being for the long haul, So let's really break this down and connect it back to those earlier cards. With the Magician, is this about patiently developing your skills and talents? Is it about understanding that mastering your craft takes time and dedication? It's about not getting discouraged if you don't see results immediately, but continuing to practice, to learn, and to grow, knowing that your efforts will eventually pay off, It's like the Magician has all the tools, but it's the Seven of Pentacles that reminds them that it takes time and effort to truly master them. And with the Lovers, is this about investing in your relationships? Is it about understanding that building strong, lasting connections takes time, effort, and commitment? It's about being patient with your loved ones, about working through challenges together, and about nurturing your relationships so that they can grow and flourish, Like, relationships aren't just about instant connection, right? They're about putting in the work, being there for each other, and growing together over time. And with strength, is this about cultivating your inner resilience? Is it about understanding that overcoming challenges takes time, patience, and self-compassion? It's about not giving up on yourself when things get tough, but continuing to nurture your inner strength, knowing that you have the power to overcome any obstacle, It's like, strength isn't just about being strong in the moment. It's about building a foundation of inner resilience that will support you through anything. And then, thinking about the Five of Swords, is this about patiently working to heal the wounds of conflict? Is it about understanding that forgiveness takes time, effort, and a willingness to let go of the past. It's about not holding on to grudges, but focusing on creating a more peaceful and harmonious future, Like conflict can leave scars, but the Seven of Pentacles reminds us that healing is possible. It just takes time and effort. And with the Queen of Swords, is this about using your intellect to create a long-term plan for success? Is it about understanding that achieving your goals takes careful planning, strategic thinking, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances? It's about not being afraid to make tough decisions, but always keeping your long-term vision in mind, Like, the Queen of Swords is all about clarity, but the Seven of Pentacles adds the element of patience and long-term planning. And then, the Sun. Is this about patiently nurturing your joy and happiness? Is it about understanding that maintaining a positive outlook takes effort and dedication? It's about not taking your happiness for granted, but actively cultivating gratitude, practicing self-care, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, Like, the Sun is a burst of joy, but the Seven of Pentacles reminds us that we have to actively nurture that joy to keep it shining bright. And finally, with Judgment, is this about patiently integrating the lessons you've learned from your past? Is it about understanding that transformation takes time, effort, and a willingness to be honest with yourself? It's about not rushing the process, but allowing yourself to fully integrate your experiences and to emerge stronger and wiser on the other side, So I think one of the biggest messages here is about playing the long game, It's about understanding that true success isn't about instant gratification. It's about building something lasting, something meaningful, something that will continue to grow and evolve over time. And that takes patience, dedication, and a willingness to put in the work, even when you don't see immediate results, This is a marathon, not a sprint. And it's about making sustainable choices that support your long-term well-being, It's about creating habits that nourish your body, mind, and spirit, and about building relationships that are based on trust, respect, and mutual support. It's about investing in your future, not just financially, but also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, It's about creating a life that's aligned with your values and your passions, a life that's filled with joy, purpose, and meaning. And so how do you actually do that, right? Well, practically, it's about setting realistic goals and breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps, It's about creating a schedule that allows you to prioritize your health, your relationships, and your personal growth. It's about learning to say no to things that don't align with your values or your goals. It's about surrounding yourself with people who support you, who encourage you, and who believe in you. And it's about being kind to yourself along the way, It's about recognizing that you're not perfect, that you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. The key is to learn from those mistakes, to forgive yourself, and to keep moving forward one step at a time. And it's also about celebrating your progress, no matter how small it may seem, It's about acknowledging your accomplishments, about rewarding yourself for your hard work, and about taking time to appreciate all the good things in your life. It's about remembering that you're worthy of happiness, success, and fulfillment, and that you deserve to create a life that you love, Like, it all comes back to that sense of self-worth, doesn't it? Believing that you deserve the good things that are coming your way. Because if you don't believe you're worthy, you might sabotage your own efforts, You might push away opportunities, you might settle for less than you deserve, or you might just give up when things get tough. So this is also about really embracing your inherent worthiness, Like understanding that you're valuable, you're capable, and you're deserving of all the good things that life has to offer. It's about loving yourself unconditionally, flaws and all, and about treating yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and respect that you would offer to a dear friend. And it's about knowing that your worth isn't dependent on your achievements, your relationships, or your material possessions, Your worth comes from within. It's about who you are as a person, your values, your character, your unique gifts, You are inherently worthy, simply because you exist. The universe created you, so it clearly thought you were worth it. And it's about really internalizing that belief, so that it guides your choices, your actions, and your relationships, so that you're always striving to create a life that reflects your true worth and potential. You know what I mean? So really, after all this, it's about trusting the process, right? Trusting that everything is unfolding in divine timing, even when you can't see the full picture. Trusting that the challenges you're facing are ultimately serving your highest good, helping you to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of yourself. And trusting that you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to overcome any obstacle that comes your way, Like even when things seem chaotic or uncertain, you can always come back to that inner knowing, that deep sense of trust that everything is going to be okay, And it's about surrendering to the flow of life, about letting go of your need to control everything, and about allowing the universe to guide you on your path, It's about being open to new possibilities, about embracing change, and about trusting that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see it yet. Wow. And it's about remembering that you're not alone, You're connected to something bigger than yourself, to a source of infinite wisdom, love, and support. You can always tap into that source for guidance, for comfort, and for strength, So as we wrap up this reading, I want you to know that you are on the right track, okay? You've come so far, you've learned so much, and you're ready to create an amazing future for yourself. Just remember to be patient, to be kind to yourself, and to trust the process, You have everything you need within you to succeed. You have the magic of the magician, the love of the lovers, the strength of strength, the clarity of the Queen of Swords, the joy of the Sun, and the wisdom of judgment. And now, you have the patience and the long-term vision of the Seven of Pentacles. So go out there and create the life you were meant to live, The world is waiting for you, and I'm sending you all my love and support on your journey. You got this. Okay, so Sapphire point. Centering, deep reflections, finding grounded perspectives. I feel like that's so important right now, especially with the cards we've pulled. It's like finding your center amidst the chaos, Like really grounding yourself so you can actually reflect properly. Okay, so Nine of Swords first. This card, oh my gosh, it's all about anxiety, worry, and those sleepless nights where your mind is just racing. You know that feeling? Like you're just lying there in bed, staring at the ceiling, and all these thoughts are just bombarding you. It's not fun, trust me, I've been there. And it can be really debilitating, Like it can affect your daily life, your relationships, your work, everything. And it's interesting that this is the first card that came up because it really sets the tone, doesn't it? Like, it's showing us that there's a lot of mental turmoil going on. And remember, the Sapphire point is all about centering. So it's like the universe is saying, okay, you're feeling anxious, but you need to find your center. You need to ground yourself. Because if you don't, you're just going to get swept away by all these negative thoughts, And it's so easy to get caught in that trap. Like one negative thought leads to another, and before you know it, you're in this downward spiral. So the Sapphire point is like a reminder to breathe, to take a step back, and to find your inner peace. Like meditation, deep breathing, spending time in nature, whatever helps you feel grounded. It's so important right now. And you might be wondering, what's causing all this anxiety? What's triggering these thoughts? Well, that's where the next card comes in. Six of Cups. Nostalgia, memories, the past. This card often represents childhood, innocence, and simpler times. But, it can also represent being stuck in the past, Like romanticizing the past and not being able to move forward. And I feel like that's a key aspect of this card in this reading. It's like you're clinging to these memories, these past experiences, and they're actually fueling your anxiety. Maybe you're thinking about, a past relationship that didn't work out, or a missed opportunity, or something you regret. And you're replaying it over and over in your mind, and it's just making you feel worse. It could also be that you're comparing your present situation to your past, and you're feeling like things were better back then, Like, oh, remember when things were so easy and carefree? But the thing is, the past is the past. You can't change it. And dwelling on it is just going to keep you stuck in this negative cycle. So the Six of Cups is like a warning to not get too caught up in nostalgia. It's okay to have fond memories, but don't let them control you. Don't let them prevent you from moving forward. You need to focus on the present and create a better future for yourself. And how does this connect to the Sapphire point? Well, it's like you need to ground yourself in the present moment. You can't be grounded if you're constantly living in the past. So you need to acknowledge those memories, but then let them go. Release them. And focus on what you can do right now to improve your life. And this is where it gets really interesting because the next card is the Tower. The Tower. Oh my gosh. This is a card of sudden change, upheaval, and unexpected events. It's like bam. The universe is shaking things up, whether you like it or not. And it can be scary, you know? Like, nobody likes change, especially when it's unexpected. But the Tower is actually a very powerful card. It represents the destruction of old structures, old beliefs, and old patterns that are no longer serving you. It's like the universe is tearing down everything that's holding you back so you can rebuild on a stronger foundation. So, with the Nine of Swords and the Six of Cups, it's like you're stuck in this cycle of anxiety and nostalgia, and the Tower is coming in to break that cycle. It's like the universe is saying, okay, enough is enough. You need to let go of the past and stop worrying about things you can't control. It's time for a change. And this change might be something that you initiate yourself, or it might be something that happens to you. But either way, it's going to be significant. It's going to be a turning point in your life. Maybe you lose your job, maybe a relationship ends, maybe you move to a new city. Whatever it is, it's going to force you to confront your fears and your insecurities. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. But it's also going to give you the opportunity to grow and to become a stronger, more resilient person. And how does the Sapphire point fit into all of this? Well, it's like you need to stay grounded during this time of upheaval. You need to find your center and hold on to it, because things are going to get rocky. The Tower can be a very destabilizing card, but it can also be a very liberating card. It's like once you let go of those old structures, those old beliefs, you're free to create something new. You're free to build a life that's more aligned with your true self. So the Sapphire point is like a reminder to trust the process, to trust the universe, and to know that everything is happening for a reason, even though it might not feel like it right now. Okay, so let's recap. We have the Nine of Swords, representing anxiety and worry. We have the Six of Cups, representing nostalgia and the past. And we have the Tower, representing sudden change and upheaval. And all of this is happening under the influence of the Sapphire point, which is all about centering and finding grounded perspectives. So it's like you're feeling anxious and stuck in the past, and the universe is shaking things up to force you to move forward. But you need to stay grounded during this time and trust that everything is happening for your highest good. And it's so important to remember that you're not alone in this. Everyone goes through periods of change and upheaval. Everyone experiences anxiety and worry. And everyone has memories of the past that they're holding onto. But the key is to not let these things control you, to not let them define you. You are stronger than you think. You are more resilient than you realize. And you have the power to create a better future for yourself, even in the midst of chaos. So take a deep breath, find your center, and trust that everything is going to be okay. The universe has your back. The Sapphire point is guiding you, and you are capable of overcoming any challenge that comes your way. And wow, this is a really powerful combination of cards, you know. It's like it's a tough message, but it's also a very hopeful message. It's like things might be difficult right now, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's a better future waiting for you. You just need to stay grounded and trust the process. And I think what's really interesting here is the interplay between the Six of Cups and the Tower. Because the Six of Cups is all about wanting to go back to simpler times, right? And the Tower is like, nope, no going back. You're moving forward whether you like it or not. And that can be really jarring, you know? Like you're longing for the past and the universe is pushing you into the future. And it's like, how do you reconcile those two things? How do you find peace when you're being pulled in opposite directions? Well, I think the answer lies in the Sapphire point. It's like you need to find your center, your grounding in the present moment. You can't be clinging to the past, and you can't be resisting the future. You need to be fully present in the now, and that's where you'll find your strength. That's where you'll find your peace. And that's where you'll find the guidance you need to navigate this time of change. And sometimes the tower is exactly what we need. Like, we get so stuck in our routines, in our patterns, that we don't even realize we're not happy. We're just going through the motions. And the tower comes in and shakes things up, and it forces us to reevaluate our lives. It forces us to ask ourselves, is this really what I want? Is this really the life I want to be living? And if the answer is no, then the tower gives us the courage to make a change. It gives us the courage to break free from those old patterns and create something new. And it's not always easy, Change is hard. It's scary, but it's also necessary. It's how we grow. It's how we evolve. And the Sapphire point is there to remind us that we're not alone, that we have the strength within us to overcome any challenge, that we have the power to create a better future for ourselves. So, trust the process. Stay grounded, and know that everything is going to be okay. And I'm really feeling this energy of needing to let go. Like whatever you're holding on to, whatever you're clinging to, it's time to release it. It's time to let it go, because it's holding you back. It's preventing you from moving forward. And the universe is giving you the opportunity to break free, to create a new life for yourself, a life that's more aligned with your true self. So embrace the change, embrace the unknown. And trust that everything is happening for a reason. Okay, so that's the general overview of these 3 cards. But I think it's important to dive a little deeper into each card and see what specific messages they have for you. And also how they might be playing out in your life right now. Because, tarot is all about interpretation. It's about finding the messages that resonate with you and applying them to your own situation. So let's start with the 9 of Swords again. And let's really explore those anxieties and worries that you're experiencing, and see if we can find some clues as to what's causing them and how you can overcome them. Okay, oh my gosh, strength. Wow, okay, after all that, after the anxiety and the past and the tower moment, this is actually perfect. This card is so needed right now. It's okay, everything's falling apart, but you have the strength to deal with it. You have the inner power. It's not about physical strength, It's about inner resilience, courage, compassion. It's about mastering your own emotions and impulses, even when you feel like you're losing it. And strength, it's not about overpowering something, It's about gently guiding, being compassionate, being patient. Think of the classic image, right? The woman with the lion. She's not fighting the lion, she's stroking it. She's calm. She's got this gentle strength that's more powerful than any force. And I think that's exactly the energy that needs to be cultivated right now. Especially after the tower, which is all about sudden, forceful change. So, how is this person feeling internally? Okay, I'm getting the sense that they're actually more scared than they let on. They might be putting on a brave face, but underneath it all, they're feeling vulnerable. They're feeling unsure of themselves. And that's totally normal, especially after a tower moment. It's everything they thought they knew is gone, so of course, they're going to feel a little lost. But the Strength card is saying that they do have the power to navigate this. They do have the inner resources to overcome these challenges. It's just about tapping into that inner strength, It's about believing in themselves, even when they don't feel like it. And it's about being kind to themselves, being compassionate with their own vulnerabilities. Because, everyone has moments of weakness. Everyone feels scared sometimes. It's part of being human. But it's how you deal with those feelings that matters. And this goes back to the 9 of Swords too, right? The anxiety. Because anxiety is often rooted in fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough. But strength is about facing those fears head on. It's about saying, okay, I'm scared, but I'm not going to let fear control me. It's about taking a deep breath, finding your center, and moving forward even when you don't feel like it. And the 6 of Cups with the nostalgia. Okay, so maybe they're longing for a time when things felt easier, simpler, less scary. But the Strength card is saying that they can't go back to that. They have to find their strength in the present moment. They have to create a new sense of stability and security for themselves. And they can do that by focusing on what they can control, by taking small steps forward each day, by being kind to themselves and others. So, how can they actually embody this strength energy? Like, practically? Okay, first of all, self-care is crucial. Like, really taking care of their physical and emotional needs. Getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, exercising, spending time in nature, doing things that bring them joy. Because when you're feeling depleted, it's so much harder to tap into your inner strength. It's like trying to drive a car with an empty gas tank. And also setting boundaries. This is huge. Like saying no to things that drain their energy, protecting their time and space, not letting other people take advantage of them. Because strength is also about knowing your own limits and honoring them. It's about being assertive and standing up for yourself, but in a compassionate way. Not in an aggressive way, you know? And then practicing mindfulness. Like really being present in the moment, paying attention to their thoughts and feelings without judgment, noticing the beauty in the everyday. Because when you're mindful, you're less likely to get caught up in anxiety or nostalgia. You're more able to see things clearly and make wise decisions. And finally, connecting with their values. Like, what's really important to them? What do they stand for? What kind of person do they want to be? Because when you're aligned with your values, you feel more grounded, more centered, more strong. It's like having a compass that guides you in the right direction, even when you're feeling lost. I feel like what's going to be really important is how they communicate all this. Like the next card will probably give insight into how they show this strength outwardly, how they express their needs and boundaries, and how they build new connections after all this upheaval. Because inner strength is amazing, but it also needs to translate into action. And like, how do they balance this inner work with their outer responsibilities? How do they show up for the people they care about while still taking care of themselves? This strength card, it's a foundation, but it's not the whole story. The card so far, it's all about this internal journey, right? The anxiety, the past, the upheaval, and now the strength. But what about the external world? What about their relationships? What about their career? What about their goals? How is all of this affecting those areas of their life? And like, are they even ready to start thinking about those things yet? Or do they still need more time to process everything that's happened? I'm also wondering if this strength card is a sign that they need to be more compassionate towards themselves. Like, maybe they're being too hard on themselves. Maybe they're expecting too much of themselves. Maybe they need to give themselves permission to rest, to heal, to just be. Because sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is to simply surrender. To let go of control and trust that everything is happening for a reason. And that can be really hard, especially for someone who's used to being in charge. So like, this strength card is so multi-layered. It's not just about being tough or resilient. It's about being gentle, compassionate, mindful, and aligned with your values. It's about finding your center in the midst of chaos and trusting that you have the power to overcome any challenge. And it's about remembering that you're not alone. That you have the support of the universe and the strength within yourself to create a better future. I'm almost feeling like the next card will maybe be something about communication, like the way they're speaking to others, or maybe like a new idea that is sparked because of what they're going through. Or, whoa, what if the next card is about some sort of message coming to them? Like a sign that they're on the right path or something? That would be so cool. This whole reading is really making me think about how we all have these inner resources that we can tap into when things get tough. And sometimes, we just need a reminder to believe in ourselves, to trust our intuition, to know that we're stronger than we think. And like, that's what tarot is all about, right? It's about connecting with our inner wisdom and finding the guidance we need to navigate life's challenges. And the Sapphire point too, like, it's all coming together. The centering, the grounded perspective. It's all about finding that inner strength and using it to navigate the tower moment. This strength card is so connected to the Sapphire point. It's like the embodiment of that energy. Like, okay, you're feeling shaken, but you can find your center. You can find your strength. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see what the next card is because I feel like it's going to give us some more concrete guidance on how to apply all of this. Like, what actions do they need to take? What conversations do they need to have? What steps do they need to take to create a more stable and fulfilling life for themselves? It feels like it's coming more to the surface now. Like, okay, we have the internal. Now how does this manifest? Okay, so we have this inner work, this inner strength, so how does this manifest? Okay, are you ready for this? Deep breath, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, wow. Okay, so after all that internal stuff, after the anxiety and the past and the tower and digging deep for strength, here comes the Ace of Pentacles. This is like a breath of fresh air, right? It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've been through a lot, here's a little something, a new beginning, an opportunity. An ace is always about new beginnings, pure potential, right? And pentacles, that's all about the material world, earth, practicality, finances, career, security. So this is a tangible opportunity, something real, something you can sink your teeth into. So their current thoughts and feelings, I feel like initially this is a huge relief. Okay, something good is finally happening. Maybe they were feeling like they were just in this constant state of turmoil, and this is like a little ray of sunshine, you know. But with the tower still fresh in their minds, I also feel like there's a little bit of hesitation. Is this too good to be true? Is there a catch? Am I really ready for this? And that's totally understandable, right? After a big upheaval, it can be hard to trust that things are actually going to get better. You're almost waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know. But the Ace of Pentacles, it's a really positive sign. It's saying that, yes, things are getting better. Yes, you deserve this. Yes, you're ready for this, even if you don't feel like it yet. And it connects to the Strength card so well because it's like you've done the inner work, you found your strength, and now the universe is rewarding you with this opportunity. It's like you've earned this. You've weathered the storm, and now you're ready to start building a new foundation. A foundation that's more solid, more secure, more aligned with your true self. With the Nine of Swords, I am thinking this ace is offering some relief from that anxiety. It's a tangible thing to focus on, something that can bring stability. It's instead of just worrying about the future, they have something concrete to work towards. And that can be incredibly grounding, you know? It's okay, I can't control everything, but I can control this. I can take action on this opportunity and create a better future for myself. It's channeling that anxiety into productive energy. And then the Six of Cups. Okay, so maybe this ace is an opportunity that somehow connects to the past, but in a positive way. Maybe it's a chance to revisit an old dream or passion, or maybe it's a chance to work with someone from their past. But it's not about getting stuck in nostalgia. It's about taking the good from the past and using it to build something new in the present. It's okay, I learned from those past experiences, and now I can use that knowledge to create something even better. And with the Tower, it really feels like this ace is a direct result of that upheaval. It's the Tower cleared away all the old, broken structures, and now there's space for something new to grow. So I think their current thoughts are probably a mix of excitement, relief, and a little bit of apprehension. But overall, I think they're feeling hopeful. They're feeling like things are finally moving in the right direction. They're feeling like they have a chance to create a better future for themselves. But how does this ace manifest? What does this actually look like in their life? Okay, so Pentacles, right? Let's think practical. This could be a new job offer, a new business venture, a new investment opportunity. It could be a chance to improve their financial situation, to pay off debt, to save money, to create more security. It could also be something related to their home or their physical environment. Maybe they're moving to a new place, redecorating their current place, or finally tackling that home improvement project they've been putting off. It's like they are making their space a true sanctuary, one where they feel safe and at peace. It definitely is contributing to their overall wellness. Okay, so maybe it is a job. Are they going to take it? Are they even going to apply? Are they feeling confident enough after the Tower to put themselves out there? With the Strength card, I think they will. I think they're going to tap into that inner courage and say, okay, I can do this. I'm worthy of this opportunity. But they might need to do some work on their confidence first. Maybe they need to update their resume, practice their interview skills, or just remind themselves of all their accomplishments. And maybe they need to let go of some of that past baggage that's holding them back. You know, those old beliefs that they're not good enough or that they're going to fail. They need to replace those beliefs with positive affirmations and self-compassion. They need to believe in themselves, even when they don't feel like it. Or maybe it's a business venture. Okay, so this could be something they've been dreaming about for a long time, but they've been too scared to pursue. Now, with the Tower shaking things up and the Strength card giving them courage, they're finally ready to take the leap. They're ready to start that business, to launch that product, to share their gifts with the world. But they need to do their research first. They need to create a solid business plan, to find the right resources, to connect with the right people. And they need to be prepared for the challenges that will inevitably come their way. Because starting a business is never easy, but it can be incredibly rewarding. It is also making me think about relationships. Could this Ace of Pentacles be a new relationship opportunity, or a chance to build a stronger foundation in an existing relationship? Maybe they're ready to take things to the next level with someone, to move in together, to get engaged, to start a family. Or maybe they're ready to heal some old wounds in a relationship, to forgive someone who hurt them, to create more intimacy and connection. But they need to be honest with themselves and with their partner about what they want and need. They need to communicate openly and honestly, to listen with compassion, and to be willing to compromise. Because relationships are never perfect, but they can be incredibly fulfilling if you're willing to put in the work. And with the Sapphire point, the centering aspect, it's like this ace is a chance to create more stability and security in their life, to build a foundation that will support them through future challenges. But they need to stay grounded in the present moment. They can't get too caught up in the excitement of the new opportunity or the fear of the unknown. They need to take things one step at a time, to focus on what they can control, and to trust that everything is happening for a reason. And they need to remember to take care of themselves along the way. To prioritize their physical and emotional well-being, to set boundaries, and to ask for help when they need it. They are going to have to communicate about this ace. Because, this inner strength is great, but the ace is external. It's something real, something tangible. So they are going to have to talk to someone about this, whether it's a potential employer, a business partner, or a loved one. How they communicate is going to be key. Are they going to be confident and assertive, or are they going to be hesitant and insecure? The Strength card says they have the inner resources to communicate effectively, but they need to tap into that. And what if the communication itself is the Ace of Pentacles? What if the opportunity is a chance to share their voice, to write a book, to give a speech, to start a podcast? I'm also wondering if this Ace of Pentacles is related to their health. Maybe it's a chance to start a new fitness routine, to eat healthier, to address a health issue that they've been putting off. Or maybe it's simply a chance to prioritize their well-being and to create more balance in their life. It really is a message of wellness, I think. Wow, this Ace of Pentacles is really opening up a lot of possibilities. It's it could be anything. But I feel like the next card is going to give us some more specific guidance. It's going to tell us what area of their life is most affected by this ace. Is it career? Is it relationships? Is it finances? I'm so curious to see what's next. And also, what challenges are they going to face as they pursue this opportunity? What guidance do they need to overcome those challenges? Because every ace comes with its own set of obstacles. It's not always smooth sailing. There are going to be bumps in the road. But with the Strength card, I know they have the inner resources to navigate those challenges. They just need to believe in themselves and trust the process. And I think this Sapphire point, this centering and grounding, it's going to be essential as they move forward. They need to stay connected to their inner wisdom, to their values, and to their intuition. They need to trust that they're on the right path, even when things get tough. Okay, so we're ending on this Ace of Pentacles, the chance to move forward. I mean, That's amazing after all that stuff we just talked about. So, what does that mean for them, right? What's actually going on in their head? What are they feeling? After everything they've been through, it makes sense there might be some fear about moving forward. Okay, first off, this Ace of Pentacles. It's real. It's not just some fleeting thought or feeling. It's an actual, tangible opportunity. But, with the Tower still hanging around in the background, I think they're also, wondering if it's too good to be true, you know? Waiting for the other shoe to drop, almost. But I also think they're feeling a sense of relief, okay, finally something positive. So, let's break it down. What could this actually be, right? Pentacles is like Earth, right? So it's tangible, it's real, it's about career, money, security. First thought could be a job, a new job offer, or the chance to finally get the promotion they've been working towards. I feel like this could definitely be on their mind. Are they confident enough to go for it? They have strength, right? But they also have that Nine of Swords energy hanging around too. Okay, so if it is a job, they're probably thinking about the practical stuff, right? Can they actually do the job? Do they have the skills? Are they going to fit in with the company culture? Are they going to make enough money? And with the Tower card, maybe their old job ended abruptly, so they're probably also thinking about job security. Is this a stable company? Is this a long-term opportunity? They're probably also thinking a lot about security, can they trust this new opportunity? Or could be starting their own business, they've always had this idea in the back of their head, and now they're finally ready to take the leap. They're sitting there, thinking about the logistics. What do they actually do? With the Six of Cups, maybe it's linked to the past, could it be revisiting an old dream from childhood? Okay, but that past isn't reality anymore. But then the self-doubt creeps in, right? Can they actually pull it off? Do they have the money? Do they have the time? Do they have the support? Whoa, that's a lot. But this Ace isn't just about career, right? It's about stability, it's about the material world. So maybe it's about money. Maybe it's a new investment opportunity or a chance to get their finances in order. Are they thinking about paying off debt? Saving for a down payment on a house? Finally creating a budget and sticking to it? All totally possible. But I think they're also thinking about the risks, right? What if they lose money? What if the investment goes south? What if they can't stick to their budget? With that anxiety, they're probably so worried about the future. Or what if this Ace is about their home? Maybe they're thinking about moving to a new place, or redecorating their current place, or finally fixing that leaky faucet that's been driving them crazy. If that's it, they're wondering what they like, right? Can they afford it? Can they find the right place? Will they actually get around to fixing that faucet? Haha. I feel like a lot of what they're thinking about here is, worthiness. Do they deserve good things? Do they deserve to be happy and secure? It's a big question, right? And I think the Strength card is telling them that, yes, they do. They are worthy. They just have to believe it. They are worthy and it can actually happen. So, whatever this Ace actually is, I think they're also thinking about communication. They can't keep this all bottled up inside. They need to talk to someone about it, right? Maybe they need to talk to their partner about their career goals. Maybe they need to talk to a financial advisor about their investment options. Maybe they need to talk to a contractor about fixing that leaky faucet. And I feel like that is what is holding them back. They don't know who to talk to and get the advice they need to act. But here's the thing, communication can be scary, right? What if they don't like it? What if the financial advisor tells them they're in terrible shape? What if the contractor gives them a huge estimate? With that Nine of Swords, they're worried sick. See, with the Tower still in the mix, and the Ace coming right after, I also feel like they're also thinking about control, The Tower is all about things falling apart, feeling out of control. And this Ace, it's like the universe is saying, okay, you can't control everything, but you can control this. You can take action and create a better future. But with communication, is there something or someone they are not talking to? Could that be the best path forward to this Ace and whatever it manifests to be? How could that Six of Cups affect that? But maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this Ace isn't about any of those things. Maybe it's something completely different. That's why tarot readings are so wild. Like, what if it's about their health? Maybe it's a chance to start a new fitness routine, to eat healthier, to finally address that nagging health issue they've been ignoring. But they're thinking about the commitment, right? Can they actually stick to it? Do they have the time? Are they going to have to give up all their favorite foods? This is the thing, no matter what this ace represents, it's going to require effort. It's going to require them to step outside their comfort zone. It's going to require them to face their fears. This could be a long road for them, which they may not be fully aware of yet. Okay, I'm back to what I said before. I think it all circles back to worthiness, right? Like this Ace of Pentacles is offering them a chance to create a more stable, secure, fulfilling life. But they have to believe that they deserve it. With that anxiety, I just don't see them fully realizing it. They have to truly believe that it can come to them, right? I'm just not fully sure they know that, or know where to start after the Tower. And that's where the Strength card comes in, right? It's about tapping into that inner courage, that inner resilience, and saying, okay, I can do this. I am worthy of this opportunity. It's about believing in themselves even when they don't feel like it. They also need to embrace the unknown. And the Sapphire point, that centering energy, is going to be crucial throughout this process. They need to stay grounded, to stay connected to their intuition, to trust that they're on the right path, even when things get tough. And they can't forget to take care of themselves, to prioritize their well-being, to set boundaries, to ask for help when they need it. So overall, I think their current thoughts and feelings are a mix of excitement, relief, apprehension, and a whole lot of self-doubt. But I also think they're feeling hopeful, like things are finally moving in the right direction. They need to go back to that Tower moment and know why it had to happen. It's like that newness, the Ace, is calling to them, just out of reach, ready for them to take it. The strength they cultivated from the Tower collapsing may not be enough to grab the Ace, but they also have to believe in themselves. Like, the relief can come in, but they have to believe they can attain it. I really feel like the next card is going to give us some more specific guidance on how they can actually manifest this Ace. Is there a specific action they need to take? Is there a specific person they need to talk to? What's the best way to channel that strength energy into creating a more fulfilling life? Like, where do they even start? I'm on the edge of my seat here. It's gonna be good, I can feel it. Okay, drum roll please. Their current thoughts and secret feelings. After all that, it is the Hermit. Oh my gosh, okay. So after the Ace of Pentacles, after this new opportunity, this new beginning, we get the Hermit. I'm like feeling so many things right now. Okay, so the Hermit, traditionally, it's all about introspection, solitude, searching within for answers. It's about taking a step back from the world and really getting clear on what you want, what you need, what your purpose is. Like, the classic image is the old man on the mountain with the lantern, right? He's not looking for external validation. He's looking for internal guidance. So how does this connect with everything else? Okay, so with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm thinking maybe their first thought is, wait, do I even want this? Like, the Ace is this shiny new thing, but the Hermit is saying, hold on, before you jump into anything, you need to make sure it's aligned with your values, with your true self. It's like they're realizing that just because an opportunity is there, doesn't mean they have to take it. It's like a pause, right? A pause for reflection, and that ties in so well with the Sapphire point, the centering, because this is about needing to center before moving ahead. With the Nine of Swords, the anxiety, I'm feeling like the Hermit is a way to actually deal with that anxiety. Like, instead of letting their mind race and worry, they're taking a step back to really understand the root of that anxiety. And the Six of Cups, the nostalgia, maybe they're realizing that they need to let go of the past in order to move forward. The Hermit is about finding wisdom within yourself, not in the past, but in the present moment. Like, what lessons have they learned from those past experiences? How can they use that knowledge to create a better future? And what is ready to be left behind? And the Tower. Oh my gosh, the Hermit after the Tower is like, yes. Like, after all that chaos and upheaval, they need some time alone to process everything. It's like they're realizing that they can't just jump back into the world and pretend like nothing happened. They need to integrate those experiences, to learn from them, to find meaning in them. The Hermit is like a period of healing, a period of rebuilding. And then the Strength card. Okay, so they have that inner strength, but the Hermit is saying that strength needs to be used wisely. It's not about pushing through everything. It's about knowing when to rest, when to retreat, when to recharge. I think the Tower has shaken up the structure of their life so profoundly that strength has to be used to look inward. So what are they actually thinking? I think they're thinking, I need to slow down. Like, I need to take some time for myself. I need to get away from all the noise and distractions and just listen to my own inner voice. Maybe they're craving solitude, a quiet space where they can just be with their thoughts and feelings. Maybe they're thinking about going on a retreat, or taking a long walk in nature, or just spending a weekend alone at home with no phone, no TV, no social media. It's like they are being bombarded by the Tower, by the potential of the Ace, but the Hermit is pushing back, gently, I'd say. I'm also feeling like they're questioning everything, every goal, every relationship, every belief. Like, is this really what I want? Is this really who I am? Am I living my life in alignment with my values? They are thinking, I need time to think and reorient to reground myself. And it can be scary, you know, to question everything you've always believed in. It takes courage to confront your own shadows, to admit your mistakes, to let go of what's no longer serving you. But the Hermit is saying that it's worth it, that the answers you're looking for are within you. It's about taking that lantern and going deep into your soul, shining a light on all those hidden corners, all those unexamined beliefs. I'm wondering, is there someone they need to distance themselves from? Someone who's draining their energy, or holding them back, or not supporting their growth? The Hermit can sometimes indicate a need to cut ties with toxic people or situations. Because sometimes, the only way to find your own truth is to create some space between yourself and the outside world. Or maybe they're thinking about mentorship. The Hermit isn't always about being alone. It can also be about seeking guidance from a wise and experienced mentor, someone who can help you navigate your own inner landscape, someone who's already been on the path you're on, someone who can offer insights and perspectives that you might not be able to see on your own. But I also think it's more about them being the mentor. It's about taking the experiences and hard lessons and finding a path to assist other people. With the Ace of Pentacles, I'm feeling like they're realizing that success isn't just about money or career. It's about something deeper, something more meaningful. It's about finding your purpose and using your gifts to make a positive impact on the world. They are realizing that they need to redefine success, which is a huge Tower feeling. And this is so connected to the Sapphire point. Because that's all about finding grounded perspectives. And the Hermit is about taking the time to actually develop those perspectives, to really understand what's important to you, what your values are. Maybe they're thinking about simplifying their life, getting rid of all the unnecessary clutter and distractions. The Hermit is about living with intention, about focusing on what truly matters, about letting go of all the things that are weighing you down. It is time to think about what truly brings them joy, to simplify so they have the space for that. Are they even thinking about the Ace? I'm also wondering if they're feeling a little overwhelmed by all the possibilities. The Ace of Pentacles is like, here's a new beginning. But the Hermit is saying, wait, not so fast. You need to figure out what kind of beginning you actually want. It's like they're realizing that they have a choice. They don't have to just jump into the first opportunity that comes their way. They can take their time, explore their options, and make a decision that's aligned with their true self. But is there an element of fear there? Are they afraid of missing out on something? Are they afraid of being alone? The Hermit can sometimes indicate a fear of intimacy, a fear of vulnerability. But I think with the Strength card, they are getting over the fear. It's like if they're already drawing that strength from within, they've already taken that first step. It's all about balance. It's about finding that sweet spot between solitude and connection, between introspection and action. I am just wondering, this Ace, is it even meant for them? Because they may see it and just decide that it is not in alignment with their true self. I feel like I'm going to say it, they may actually turn down the ace. This is like some serious introspection. Turning down an opportunity is hard, and maybe that's why the ace is a little worrisome. The Six of Cups. Is there something they are nostalgic about that is holding them back from really embracing this hermit time? Like a person that they are missing, that they are idealizing. That person or situation may be keeping them from the solitude they need. Oh wow, it's also about trusting their intuition, trusting their inner guidance. The hermit is about recognizing that you already have all the answers you need within you. You just need to take the time to listen. The answers aren't outside of you. They are not in another person. They are not in a job. So what does this mean for their actions? I think it means they're going to be less focused on external achievements and more focused on internal growth. They are going to turn the cell phone off. They are going to spend time in nature. They are going to start meditating or journaling or doing whatever helps them connect with their inner self. They might withdraw from social activities or spend more time alone. It's not because they don't care about people, it's because they need to recharge their batteries. I'm like, this energy is so powerful, but it's also very subtle. It's not like the tower, which is all about fireworks and explosions. The hermit is more like a gentle whisper, a quiet knowing. It's a reminder to slow down, to listen, to trust yourself. So, what's next? I'm dying to know. Does this hermit energy lead them to a new understanding of the Ace of Pentacles? Does it lead them to a completely different path altogether? Does it help them heal from the tower experience? I'm so excited to see what the next card reveals. I really feel like they're at a turning point, like they're on the verge of a major breakthrough. And the hermit is helping them prepare for it. Okay, wow, so the hermit, right? After all that, after the anxiety, the nostalgia, the tower moment, the strength, the Ace of Pentacles, we end up with the hermit. I mean, talk about a journey, right? It's like this reading has taken us on a roller coaster of emotions and experiences. But I feel like it's all been leading to this moment, to this realization that sometimes the most important thing you can do is to just slow down and listen to your own inner voice. The hermit is so important because it can really refine, all those other feelings and thoughts. Let's really dive into that hermit energy. So, what are they really thinking and feeling right now? After the Ace of Pentacles showed up, are they now second-guessing it? Are they thinking, wait, do I even want this opportunity? And that's totally valid, right? It's like the universe throws this shiny new thing at you and you're supposed to be excited, but the hermit is saying, hold on a second. Is this really aligned with your values? Is this really what you want? It's like taking a step back and saying, okay, before I jump into anything, I need to make sure this is the right path for me. It's all about asking themselves, what's really important to me? It's about getting clear on their values, on their priorities, on their purpose. And it's about being honest with themselves about what they want and what they don't want. They are the lantern that guides the way. I'm even feeling they are going to turn down the Ace of Pentacles, and it has been presented to them, Like maybe it's not the right time, or that it is not in line with their path. So, what does the hermit do? What does it mean? And this isn't just about saying no to the Ace of Pentacles, it's about saying yes to themselves. It's about prioritizing their own well-being, their own growth, their own happiness. It's about creating a life that's authentic and fulfilling, not just successful in the traditional sense. So, how can they actually embrace this hermit energy? What are some practical steps they can take? First of all, I would say, create some space for solitude. Literally, carve out some time in your day or your week where you can be alone with your thoughts and feelings. Turn off your phone, turn off the TV, close the laptop, and just be. Meditate, journal, take a walk in nature, or just sit quietly and listen to your own breath. And then, get clear on your values. What's really important to you? What do you stand for? What kind of person do you want to be? Write it down. Make a list. And then, start making decisions that are aligned with those values. Say no to things that don't resonate with you, and say yes to things that do. But also, what kind of message are they needing or wanting to hear? I think it's also really important to listen to your intuition. That little voice inside that's always guiding you, but that you often ignore. Start paying attention to that voice. Trust it. It knows what's best for you. And then let go of what's no longer serving you. This could be anything, right? It could be a toxic relationship, a dead-end job, a limiting belief, a self-destructive habit. Whatever it is, if it's not helping you grow, it's time to let it go. I am wondering, what if someone comes along and they start that connection with them? Would they shut it down? Would they embrace it? And what if they're afraid of being alone? The hermit can sometimes represent a fear of intimacy, a fear of vulnerability. And that's understandable, right? It can be scary to open yourself up to others, to risk getting hurt. But I really don't feel that coming from this right now. It's about needing to find a way to be in the world, but not of it. That may be it. They still want connection, but in a whole different way. But I think it's important to remember that solitude isn't the same as isolation. You can be alone without being lonely. It's about choosing to spend time with yourself, to recharge your batteries, to connect with your inner self. It's not about shutting out the world, it's about creating a space where you can be yourself, without judgment, without expectations. It's about becoming your own best friend. And with that ace, this could also be an opportunity they turn down. And that can be scary, right? What if they're making a mistake? What if they're missing out on something? What if they regret it later? But I think it's important to trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. It's okay to say no. It's okay to choose a different path. With that past, the Six of Cups, are they truly free of that? Or is that pulling them back into things that no longer serve them? And like the Tower, it's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason. Even the difficult experiences, even the painful ones, are ultimately leading you to where you need to be. It is about trusting your gut and that higher power. But you have the strength to do this. It is all up to you now. This hermit energy, it's all about going within and finding that strength and carrying the lantern. So, how does this all connect back to the Sapphire point? Well, it's all about finding that center, that grounded perspective, amidst all the chaos and upheaval. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create your own reality, to choose your own path, to live a life that's aligned with your true self. It's about trusting that you have everything you need within you to navigate whatever challenges come your way. But this also comes with some doubts. What if they are thinking of others? What if they have others to care for? That's a lot, and it may stop this. And with that Ace of Pentacles, I'm feeling like they're realizing that success isn't just about money or career. It's about something deeper, something more meaningful. It's about finding your purpose and using your gifts to make a positive impact on the world. It is about finding and defining their why. So, this reading has been intense. We've covered a lot of ground, but I hope it's given you some clarity, some guidance, some hope. And I hope it's reminded you of your own strength, your own resilience, your own power. You've been through a lot, but you've also learned a lot. You've grown, you've evolved, and you're now ready to create a new chapter in your life. A chapter that's more authentic, more fulfilling, more aligned with your true self. The strength has already came. You have already survived the Tower. All you need to do is trust that the universe has your back and that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to, and knowing when to actually take on the challenge. Take your time in this hermit space. You deserve it. The Ace will be there for you when you are ready. And the most important thing I can tell you is to be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. You're doing the best you can, and that's enough. Give yourself permission to rest, to heal, to grow. And know that you are loved, you are supported, and you are not alone. And trust that inner voice. So yeah, that's it for this reading. I really hope it resonated with you and that it gave you some guidance and some comfort. Remember to be kind to yourself, to trust your intuition, and to never give up on your dreams. You've got this. Okay, so pile with the rose quartz angel. This crystal is all about flowing, just letting emotions move through you, right? And the theme is gentle whispers, nurturing emotional connection, which is beautiful. So even though the cards might seem a little intense at first, remember it's all about finding that gentle connection within yourself and with others. Okay, so the Tower. Whoa. Okay, so the Tower is like bam, right? It's sudden change, unexpected events, things just collapsing. But in a necessary way, It's not always a bad thing, even though it feels like it in the moment. It's like, imagine you're building a sandcastle, right? And you're so proud of it, you've spent all day on it, and then a big wave comes and just washes it away. You're devastated, right? But then you realize, oh, now I have a clean slate. I can build something even better, something stronger. So for you guys, this tower moment could be like a sudden realization about a relationship. Maybe you thought things were going great, and then, like, something happens, a conversation, an event, and you see the whole thing in a totally different light. Or, it could be a job situation. Maybe you're suddenly laid off, or there's a big shakeup at work, and everything feels uncertain. Or, it could even be something internal, like a sudden shift in your beliefs or your values. Like, something you always thought was true just suddenly doesn't resonate anymore. The thing with the tower is that it's always about truth, It's about stripping away the illusions and seeing things as they really are. And that can be scary, like really scary. But it's also liberating. It's like, you can't build a solid foundation on a lie, right? So the tower comes in and just clears away all the BS so you can start fresh. And because the theme is nurturing emotional connections, this tower moment might be related to a connection that's not really serving you anymore. Maybe it's a relationship that's based on, like, old patterns or expectations, and it's just not growing, Or maybe it's a connection with yourself, like you're not being true to yourself, and the tower is just like, nope, we gotta change this. And remember the rose quartz angel, right? So even though this feels disruptive, it's all about flowing. It's about trusting that the universe has your back, even when things seem chaotic. It's about letting go of control and allowing the change to happen, even if it's uncomfortable. Like, imagine trying to stop that wave from washing away your sandcastle, right? You're just gonna get wet and exhausted. It's better to just let it go and start building again. So the tower is definitely shaking things up, but it's doing it for a reason, and it's ultimately leading you to a more authentic and fulfilling emotional connection, whether that's with yourself or with someone else. Okay, so after the tower, we have the Eight of Cups. And this is like the walking away card, right? It's about realizing that something isn't working anymore and choosing to leave, even though it's hard. It's like you've invested so much time and energy into these cups, into this situation, but they're not fulfilling you anymore. They're empty, or they're broken, or they're just not what you need. So after that tower moment, after that sudden realization, the Eight of Cups is about making the conscious decision to step away. It's not always easy, right? It can be really painful to leave something behind, especially if you've been holding on to it for a long time. But the Eight of Cups is about recognizing your own worth and knowing that you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be fulfilled. So like, imagine that relationship we were talking about, the one that was shaken up by the tower. The Eight of Cups might mean that you're realizing that this relationship is just not sustainable anymore. Maybe you've tried everything to make it work, but it's just not happening. And the Eight of Cups is saying, it's okay to walk away. It's okay to prioritize your own happiness. Or, maybe it's that job situation. Maybe you realize that this job is just not a good fit for you, and it's time to move on to something that aligns more with your values and your goals. It could be that the tower collapsing makes you evaluate all your options, and it could be that the best option is to walk away. Or maybe it is not related to the tower. Maybe you were thinking about walking away anyway, but this tower moment gave you the extra push you needed. The thing about the Eight of Cups is that it's not about running away from your problems. It's about consciously choosing to remove yourself from a situation that's not serving you. It's about having the courage to say, this isn't working for me anymore, and I deserve better. It's about self-respect, And because the theme is nurturing emotional connections, this Eight of Cups moment might be about creating space for new connections to come into your life, connections that are more aligned with your authentic self. Or maybe to nurture the connection you have with yourself. And remember the rose quartz angel, right? So even though this feels like a loss, it's still about flowing. It's about trusting that by walking away, you're opening yourself up to new opportunities, new experiences, new connections. It's about letting go of the past and embracing the future, even if you don't know what that future holds. Like, imagine you're hiking through a forest, right? And you come to a river, and you realize that the only way to get to the other side is to wade through the water. It might be cold, it might be uncomfortable, but you know that on the other side, there's something even better waiting for you. So the Eight of Cups is definitely a challenging card, but it's also a card of hope, a card of empowerment, and it is ultimately leading you to a more fulfilling and authentic emotional connection. Okay, so then we have the Four of Swords. And this is like the rest and recovery card, right? It's about taking a break, stepping back from the world, and just recharging your batteries. After the Tower and the Eight of Cups, you're gonna need some serious downtime, you know? You've been through a lot, you've made some big decisions, and you need time to process everything and heal. So, the Four of Swords is about listening to your body, listening to your mind, and giving yourself permission to rest. It's about disconnecting from the outside world and connecting with your inner self. It's about finding peace and quiet and allowing yourself to just be. Imagine you've just run a marathon, right? You're exhausted, your muscles are aching, and all you want to do is collapse on the couch and do nothing. That's the Four of Swords energy. It's about giving yourself that time and space to recover. After walking away from that relationship or that job, the Four of Swords might mean taking some time to be alone, to reflect on what you've learned, and to figure out what you want next. It might mean spending time in nature, meditating, reading, or just doing things that bring you joy and peace. It might mean cutting off social media for a while, or avoiding stressful situations. It's all about creating a sanctuary for yourself, a safe space where you can heal and recharge. It might mean that you're not in the best mood to make new connections right now, and that's okay. The thing about the Four of Swords is that it's not about avoiding your problems. It's about taking a proactive approach to your well-being. It's about recognizing that you need time to heal and recharge so you can come back stronger and more resilient. It's about self-care, you know. And because the theme is nurturing emotional connections, this Four of Swords moment might be about nurturing your connection with yourself, about learning to love and accept yourself, flaws and all. The Four of Swords will help you meditate on that. And remember the rose quartz angel, right? So even though this feels like a passive card, it's still about flowing. It's about trusting that by resting and recharging, you're preparing yourself for new opportunities, new experiences, new connections. It's about letting go of the need to be constantly productive and allowing yourself to just be present in the moment. Like, imagine you're a gardener, right? And you've just planted some seeds, and now you need to give them time to grow. You can't keep digging them up to see if they're sprouting. You have to trust that they're doing their thing, and you have to give them the space and the nourishment they need. So, the Four of Swords is definitely a quiet card, but it's also a card of hope, a card of healing, and it is ultimately leading you to a more fulfilling and authentic emotional connection. It really all connects together, you know? The Tower collapses, the Eight of Cups lets you walk away and prioritize yourself, and the Four of Swords lets you build yourself back up so you can connect with people in a healthier manner. Okay, wow, so, that's the initial energy. The Tower shaking things up, the Eight of Cups walking away, and the Four of Swords resting and recovering. It's a cycle, you know? And it's all about nurturing that emotional connection, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. So, get ready, because we're gonna dive deeper into each of these cards and see what they really mean for you. And Holy Heart Chakra, Batman, I'm so excited to see what else is in store. Okay, so, wow, the World card. After all that, after the Tower, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Swords, it's like, okay, you've gone through the ringer, you've walked away from what wasn't serving you, you've taken the time to heal, and now you're seeing the bigger picture. You're getting the grand prize. You are winning. It's like everything has come full circle, you know. Like the Tower had to collapse so that you could walk away from those deadened cups with the Eight of Cups, and you needed that rest and recovery with the Four of Swords to really understand what you want. And now, with the world, you're finally seeing it. It's like you're standing on top of a mountain and you can see the whole world stretched out before you. You can see how all the pieces fit together, and you're like, oh, now I get it. And remember our theme, gentle whispers, nurturing emotional connection? Well, the World card in this context is like the ultimate emotional connection. It's about connecting with yourself on a really deep level, accepting all parts of yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, those tower moments. They showed you the ugly parts, but now you are accepting all of it. It's about knowing that you're a complete and whole person, just as you are. And it's about connecting with the world around you in a way that feels authentic and meaningful. It's about loving the world and accepting yourself. It's so incredible. It's like you finally found your place in the world, you know. You finally feel like you belong. So with that rose quartz angel energy, it's like all that flowing, all that gentle energy has led you to this moment of wholeness. You've allowed yourself to feel all the emotions, even the difficult ones, and now you're reaping the rewards. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into what this completion might look like for you. It could be the completion of a cycle, like maybe you've been working towards a goal for a long time, and you're finally achieving it. Maybe you've been struggling with a particular issue for years, and you're finally finding resolution. Like, that tower moment might have been the catalyst for this completion, you know. It shook things up so that you could finally break free from old patterns and move forward. Or, it could be the completion of a journey, like maybe you've been traveling, either physically or metaphorically, and you're finally reaching your destination. Maybe you've been on a spiritual quest, and you're finally finding enlightenment. And this travel aspect of the World card is really interesting, because it could literally mean that you're about to take a trip somewhere. Like, maybe you're going on a vacation, or maybe you're moving to a new city or a new country. But it could also mean that you're traveling internally, you know. You're exploring new parts of yourself, you're expanding your consciousness, you're discovering new possibilities. So, it can literally mean you're going to go to Italy, or it can mean that you are expanding your mind. Like, remember that 8 of Cups, walking away from what wasn't serving you? Well, maybe that was the first step on this journey. Maybe you had to leave behind the familiar in order to discover something new. And after the Tower and the 8 of Cups, you really had to do that healing within to achieve this World card. And the 4 of Swords, that rest and recovery, that was like preparing you for the journey, you know. You needed to recharge your batteries so that you could be ready for whatever comes next. Like, imagine packing your suitcase for a big trip, right? You need to make sure you have everything you need so that you can enjoy the journey. The 4 of Swords was you packing for the journey. It's you saying, okay, I went through all of that, so I need to take care of myself and recharge. Okay, so let's talk about seeing the bigger picture. What does that mean for you? It could mean that you're finally understanding the lessons you've been learning. You're seeing how all the pieces of your life fit together. You're recognizing the patterns that have been repeating, and you're gaining a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. It's like you're finally connecting the dots, you know. You're seeing how the past has shaped you, how the present is unfolding, and how the future is waiting to be created. It's like you're watching a movie of your life and you're finally understanding the plot. Like, that tower moment, that sudden change, it might have seemed chaotic and random at the time, but now you're seeing how it was actually necessary for your growth. It was like a plot twist that changed the whole direction of the story, you know. And you're finally seeing why that plot twist was necessary for you to get to where you are now. And the 8 of Cups, walking away, that might have seemed like a loss at the time, but now you're seeing how it was actually a liberation. It freed you from something that was holding you back so that you could move forward. It really helped, didn't it? Now you are free and ready. And the 4 of Swords, that rest and recovery that might have seemed like a waste of time, but now you're seeing how it was actually essential for your well-being. It gave you the space to heal, to reflect, and to prepare for what's next. It helped give you space so you could achieve this World card. So, the World card is really about integrating all of these experiences and seeing how they've all contributed to your growth and evolution. It's about recognizing that everything happens for a reason, even the difficult things, and that you're always exactly where you need to be. You are always where you need to be. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, so let's think about some different scenarios here. Maybe the Tower, 8 of Cups, and 4 of Swords were all about preparing you for this moment of completion. Maybe you had to go through all of that in order to reach this point of wholeness and understanding. The World card is showing that you have to tear down things to get to the right place. It's so important. Like, imagine you're climbing a mountain, right? You have to go through some tough terrain, you have to overcome some obstacles, but when you finally reach the summit, the view is incredible. The Tower, 8 of Cups, and 4 of Swords were like the tough terrain, and the World card is like the summit. Or, maybe the World card is showing you the potential for completion, but you still need to integrate the lessons of the previous cards. Maybe you're not quite there yet, but you're on the right track. Maybe you still need to do some more healing, some more reflecting, some more growing. Like, imagine you're building a house, right? You've laid the foundation, you've framed the walls, but you still need to put on the roof, install the windows, and decorate the interior. The Tower, 8 of Cups, and 4 of Swords were like laying the foundation and framing the walls, and the World card is like seeing the finished house in your mind's eye. You know it's coming, but you need to still finish it. And remember that rose quartz angel energy, that flowing, gentle energy. Well, maybe that's what's going to help you integrate those lessons and reach that point of completion. Maybe you need to continue to be gentle with yourself, to trust the process, and to allow things to unfold in their own time. You need to trust the flow. The rose quartz angel is here to help. You need to nurture the connections that are healthy for you and let go of those that aren't. So, the World card in this context is really about trusting that the universe has your back, that everything is happening for your highest good, and that you're exactly where you need to be. It's about surrendering to the flow and allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition. It's about trusting yourself and loving yourself. And it's about recognizing that you're a part of something bigger than yourself, that you're connected to everything and everyone, and that you have a unique role to play in the world. It's about embracing your individuality and sharing your gifts with the world. It's about living your life with purpose and passion and making a positive impact on the world. The possibilities are endless. Okay, so how does all of this relate to nurturing emotional connections? Well, the World card is about connecting with yourself on a really deep level, accepting all parts of yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. And when you have that kind of self-love, it's easier to connect with others in a way that's authentic and meaningful. You're not coming from a place of neediness or desperation. You're coming from a place of wholeness and abundance. You're not projecting your insecurities or your traumas onto others. You're sharing your true self with them. It's like you're shining your light and inviting others to shine theirs, you know? It's about creating a space where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. It's about building relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and love. And remember that this all came from the Tower collapsing. It's all so deeply intertwined. So the World card is really about creating a world where everyone feels connected, supported, and loved. It's about building a community where everyone can thrive and reach their full potential. It's about making the world a better place, one connection at a time. But wait a second. There's still more to uncover here. This is where it gets even more interesting, and the story is not over. What does it all mean? We still have a few more cards to pull. I can't wait to see what happens next. Okay, so after the world, after all that completion and wholeness, we get the devil. Whoa, that's quite a contrast, right? It's like you finally reach the top of the mountain, you're feeling all enlightened and connected, and then you see a shadow lurking in the corner. It's like, wait a minute, is everything really as perfect as it seems? But don't worry, that's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? This is where it gets juicy. So the devil card at its core is about the shadow self, right? It's about those parts of ourselves that we don't want to acknowledge, those desires and impulses that we try to keep hidden. It's about addiction, unhealthy attachments, and feeling trapped by our own limitations. It's about the illusion of control, about thinking we're in charge when really we're being driven by something darker. It's about the things we are ashamed of or are told to be ashamed of, and how those things actually influence who we are. Ooh, this is gonna be good, I can feel it. Like, think about it, right? After the world, after feeling so complete, it's easy to get complacent. It's easy to think, okay, I've made it, I'm good now. But the devil is like, hold on, there's still work to be done. It's a reminder that we're all human, we all have flaws, and we all have the potential to get caught up in unhealthy patterns. It's like, oh, what happens now? It's like the universe is telling us, not so fast, babe. The devil often shows up when we're giving our power away to something outside of ourselves. It could be a person, a substance, a belief, a job, anything that we feel like we can't live without. It's like we've chained ourselves to this thing, and we think it's giving us something we need, but really it's just holding us back. It's like we think we are free, but we are shackled, chained. In this case, we have to ask ourselves, after that world card, what are we chained to? It's also about recognizing those sneaky, subconscious contracts we have. These are the things that we don't even realize we are doing, but they're holding us back. For example, you might subconsciously think, I am not worthy of love. This is a subconscious contract that means you may choose partners who don't treat you well, or who don't appreciate you. The devil card is about recognizing those contracts and breaking them. So, how does this connect to the previous cards, right? Let's go back to the Tower. The Tower was all about sudden change and unexpected events. But maybe, just maybe, the devil was lurking in the foundations of that tower all along. Maybe the tower collapsed because it was built on a lie, on an unhealthy attachment, on a shadow that wasn't being acknowledged. It's almost like the devil created the tower so it could collapse in the first place. Like, imagine that relationship that was shaken up by the tower, right? Maybe it wasn't just a sudden realization that things weren't working. Maybe there was an underlying addiction, a codependent pattern, a fear of being alone that was keeping you in that relationship, even though it was toxic. Maybe one person was overly reliant on the other. It could even be a sex addiction. So the tower comes along and it's like, nope, we gotta break this unhealthy attachment. Because addictions are never good, babe. They're just not. And then we had the Eight of Cups, the walking away card. But maybe, even as you were walking away, the devil was whispering in your ear, are you sure you want to do this? What if you can't find anything better? What if you're alone forever? The devil is all about fear, and that fear can keep us stuck in unhealthy situations, even when we know we should leave. It's like we are walking away, but the devil is tugging at our heels. You have to keep walking. Like maybe you walked away from that job, but you're still obsessing over it, right? You're checking your email constantly. You're stalking your former colleagues on social media. You're replaying all the bad memories in your head. The devil is keeping you attached to that past, preventing you from fully moving on and embracing new opportunities. This is a sign that you have to let it go, for real. And what about the Four of Swords, the rest and recovery card? Maybe instead of truly resting and healing, you were just numbing yourself, right? You were distracting yourself with social media, with food, with alcohol, with anything to avoid feeling the pain of the tower and the Eight of Cups. The devil loves that because it keeps you trapped in a cycle of avoidance and self-destruction. It could even just be too much sleep. Sometimes, sleep is avoidance. It's true, like maybe you were spending hours scrolling through Instagram, comparing yourself to others, and feeling worse and worse about yourself. Or maybe you were binge-watching Netflix, completely zoning out and disconnecting from your own emotions. The devil is using those distractions to keep you from facing your own inner demons. You can do better than that, babe. And even with the World card, with that sense of completion and wholeness, maybe there's a hidden attachment to that feeling, right? Maybe you're so afraid of losing that sense of perfection that you're clinging to it too tightly. The devil is all about control, and sometimes we try to control our own happiness, our own success, our own image, to the point where it becomes suffocating. Like maybe you're presenting this perfect facade to the world, but underneath you're feeling anxious and insecure. You're afraid that if people really knew you, they wouldn't love you anymore. The devil is keeping you trapped in that performance, preventing you from being your authentic self. But what does it all mean? You can't keep this up forever. So what does this all mean for you right now? What are your unhealthy attachments? What are your hidden desires? Where are you giving your power away? Where do you feel trapped? These are the questions you need to be asking yourself. This is important. Think about your relationships, right? Are there any relationships where you feel like you're walking on eggshells, where you're afraid to be yourself? Are there any relationships where you're constantly seeking validation or approval? Are there any relationships that feel more like a power struggle than a partnership? All of these are signs that the devil might be at play. This is the tough stuff, babe. Think about your habits, right? Are there any habits that you know are bad for you, but you can't seem to break? Are there any substances that you rely on to cope with stress or anxiety? Are there any behaviors that you engage in secretly that you would be ashamed for others to know about? These are all red flags. Don't ignore the red flags. Think about your beliefs, right? Are there any beliefs that are holding you back from living your best life? Are there any fears that are preventing you from pursuing your dreams? Are there any limiting beliefs that you've internalized from your family or society? These are the chains that the devil uses to keep you bound. Break free from those chains. And remember our theme, gentle whispers, nurturing emotional connection. Well, the devil in this context is about breaking free from those unhealthy connections and nurturing a connection with your true self. It's about recognizing your own worth, setting healthy boundaries, and choosing relationships and habits that support your growth and well-being. It is so worth it. And with that rose quartz angel energy, it's about flowing through those difficult emotions, about trusting that you have the strength to overcome your challenges, and about allowing yourself to be loved and supported, even in your darkest moments. The rose quartz is there to help guide you. Remember to be gentle with yourself. It's so important. Okay, so the devil card is definitely intense, but it's also an opportunity for growth and transformation. It's a chance to confront your shadow self, to break free from unhealthy patterns, and to reclaim your power. And remember, you're not alone in this. Everyone has their own demons to face. We all do. But wait, there's still one more card to pull. This is just getting started. I am literally on the edge of my seat. What does this all mean? I can't wait to see what happens next. Okay, so after the devil, after all that shadow and temptation, we get strength. Okay, that's interesting, right? It's like after facing your inner demons, you're now being called to find your inner power. It's like, okay, devil, you've shown me the darkness, but now I'm gonna show you my light. It's time to fight back. It's time to roar, but like in a gentle way. So the strength card, like, at its core, is about inner courage, right? It's about taming the beast within, finding compassion for yourself and others, and using your inner power to overcome challenges. It's not about physical strength. It's about emotional and spiritual strength, you know. It's about mastering your fears and insecurities and finding the confidence to be your true self. It's about that quiet inner knowing. It's about gentle persistence. It's about not giving up, but not forcing things either. You have to kinda coax it into being. Like, think about it, right? After the devil, after seeing all those unhealthy attachments, you're now being called to find the strength to break free from them. It's like, okay, I see those chains, but I'm not gonna let them hold me back anymore. It's a challenge, you have to rise to it. The devil is like, I dare you. And strength is like, hold my beer. I got this. So how does this connect to the previous cards, right? Let's go back to the tower. The tower was all about sudden change and unexpected events. The devil was lurking in the foundations, but now strength is like the rebuild, right? It's like, okay, the tower collapsed, but I'm gonna build something even stronger in its place. It's not just about rebuilding. It's about building something better, something more aligned with your true self. It's about finding the strength to learn from those past experiences and create a more solid foundation for the future. Like, imagine that relationship that was shaken up by the tower, right? Maybe strength is about finding the courage to set healthy boundaries in future relationships. Maybe it's about learning to love yourself first, so you don't need to rely on someone else for your happiness. It is so important to love yourself first. And then we had the Eight of Cups, the walking away card. The devil was whispering doubts, but now strength is like, I made the right decision and I'm not gonna look back. You have the inner strength to say no. It's about trusting your intuition and knowing that you deserve better. It's about having the strength to stand on your own 2 feet and create a life that's truly fulfilling. This is about being sure of yourself. Like, maybe you walked away from that job, but you're still feeling insecure about your career path. Strength is about believing in your abilities and knowing that you'll find something even better. You have to know that you're valuable and worthy of success, and it is definitely out there. It will come. And what about the Four of Swords, the rest and recovery card? The devil was tempting you with distractions, but now strength is like, I'm gonna use this time to truly heal and recharge. It's about finding healthy ways to cope with stress and anxiety, about practicing self-care, and about connecting with your inner self. This is not about numbing. This is about truly healing. Like, maybe you were spending too much time on social media, comparing yourself to others. Strength is about setting boundaries with technology and focusing on your own well-being. It's about finding activities that bring you joy and peace and making time for them in your life. It's about nurturing yourself, baby. And even with the World card, with that sense of completion, the devil was tempting you to cling to perfection, but now strength is like, I'm gonna embrace my imperfections and be my authentic self. That authenticity will set you free. It's about accepting all parts of yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and loving yourself unconditionally. It's about knowing that you're a work in progress and that it's okay to make mistakes. It's about having the courage to be vulnerable and share your true self with the world. So maybe you were presenting this perfect facade to the world, but underneath you were feeling anxious and insecure. Strength is about letting go of that facade and allowing yourself to be seen as you truly are. You are beautiful, inside and out. So what does this all mean for you right now? What inner beast are you being called to tame? What challenges are you being called to overcome? Where are you being called to find your inner strength? These are the questions you need to be asking yourself. Think about your fears, right? What are you afraid of? What's holding you back from pursuing your dreams? What limiting beliefs are you clinging to? Strength is about facing those fears head-on and breaking free from those limiting beliefs. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking risks. It's about believing in yourself, even when no one else does. Like, maybe you're afraid of failing, so you're not even trying. Strength is about knowing that failure is a part of the process and that it's okay to make mistakes. It's about learning from your failures and using them as stepping stones to success. And you will succeed. Think about your anger, right? Are you holding on to resentment or bitterness? Are you lashing out at others or suppressing your emotions? Strength is about finding healthy ways to express your anger and release those negative emotions. It's about forgiving yourself and others and letting go of the past. It's not an easy thing to do. Like maybe you're angry at someone who hurt you, and you can't seem to let it go. Strength is about understanding that holding on to that anger is only hurting you, not them. It's about finding compassion for yourself and for them and choosing to move forward with forgiveness. Think about your desires, right? Are you being driven by lust, greed, or envy? Are you sacrificing your values or your well-being to get what you want? Strength is about mastering those desires and aligning them with your higher purpose. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. You have to resist those temptations. Like, maybe you're tempted to cheat or lie to get ahead. Strength is about staying true to your values and knowing that honesty and integrity are always the best policy. It's about choosing to do the right thing, even when it's difficult. And remember our theme, gentle whispers, nurturing emotional connection. Well, strength in this context is about nurturing a connection with your inner self, about finding compassion for your own flaws and imperfections, and about using your inner power to build healthier and more fulfilling relationships. It is a game changer. It's about attracting people who respect you, support you, and love you for who you truly are. And with that rose quartz angel energy, it's about flowing with compassion, about trusting that you have the strength to overcome any challenge, and about allowing yourself to be loved and supported, even when you're feeling vulnerable. The rose quartz is amplifying that gentle energy. You can do this. Remember to be kind to yourself, always. Okay, so the strength card is definitely empowering, but it's also a reminder that inner strength is not something you achieve once and then forget about. It's a constant practice, a daily commitment to choosing love over fear, compassion over judgment, and courage over doubt. You have to keep showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. But wait, there's still one more card to pull. This is the last piece of the puzzle. The anticipation is killing me. What does it all mean? I literally cannot wait to see what happens next. Okay, so after strength, after finding that inner power to face your demons, we get the Ten of Wands. Okay, that feels heavy, right? It's like you've just slayed the dragon and now you have to carry all these sticks. Like, what's up with that? It's a lot to carry. Like, can't you just put some of those down? So the Ten of Wands at its core is about burden, right? It's about feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, about taking on too much, about feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's about that feeling of being stretched too thin, of not having enough time or energy for yourself. It's like, hey, I just want to take a nap, but you can't, because you have all these wands to carry. Like, think about it, right? After strength, after finding that inner power, you might feel like you can do anything. You might feel like you have to do everything. You might feel like it's all up to you. But the Ten of Wands is like, hold on, are you sure you can handle all of that? Are you sure you should be doing all of that? Maybe you're doing too much. Maybe you need help. So how does this connect to the previous cards, right? Let's go all the way back to the Tower. The Tower was all about sudden change and unexpected events. The devil was lurking in the foundations. Strength was about rebuilding. But now the Ten of Wands is like, okay, you rebuilt, but did you rebuild in a way that's sustainable? Did you learn your lesson? Or are you just repeating the same patterns, but with more responsibility? It is something to consider. Like, imagine that relationship that was shaken up by the Tower, right? Maybe strength helped you set boundaries, but now the Ten of Wands is like, are you still doing all the emotional labor in the relationship? Are you still taking on more than your fair share? Are you still trying to fix things that aren't your responsibility? You can't be someone's therapist, babe. And then we had the Eight of Cups, the walking away card. The devil was whispering doubts. Strength was about trusting your intuition. But now the Ten of Wands is like, did you really walk away from everything that was burdening you? Or did you just transfer those burdens to something else? Did you really let that go? It is easy to think you are walking away from something, but then you recreate it in your new life. Like, maybe you walked away from that job, but you're now working even harder at your new job, trying to prove yourself, taking on more and more responsibility. The Ten of Wands is like, are you sure you're not just replacing one burden with another? That is interesting, right? And what about the Four of Swords, the rest and recovery card? The devil was tempting you with distractions. Strength was about truly healing, but now the Ten of Wands is like, are you actually resting? Or are you just feeling guilty about not being productive enough? Are you using your downtime to recharge? Or are you just scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to others and feeling even more overwhelmed? You need to prioritize rest. You have to be sure to balance things out. And even with the World card, with that sense of completion, the devil was tempting you to cling to perfection. Strength was about embracing your imperfections. But now the Ten of Wands is like, are you trying to maintain this perfect image by taking on too much? Are you afraid to ask for help because you don't want to appear weak or incompetent? It is okay to ask for help. The Ten of Wands is asking if you are doing that thing where you try to do everything yourself. Like, you feel like if you don't do it, it won't get done right. Or like people can't possibly do it as well as you. You can't trust anyone else to handle your wands. It also is about not delegating. Like, are you refusing to delegate, even when you're clearly overwhelmed? Are you afraid to let go of control? Are you worried that if you ask for help, people will think you're incompetent? Ooh, this is getting juicy. So, what does this all mean for you right now? What burdens are you carrying? What responsibilities are weighing you down? Where are you taking on too much? These are the questions you need to be asking yourself. Think about your work life, right? Are you working long hours? Are you taking on extra projects? Are you constantly checking your email, even when you're not at work? Are you feeling stressed and burned out? These are all signs that you might be carrying too many wands. Think about your home life, right? Are you doing all the cooking, cleaning, and childcare? Are you responsible for taking care of elderly parents or other family members? Are you feeling resentful and exhausted? These are all signs that you might need to delegate some responsibilities. Think about your relationships, right? Are you always the one who's organizing social events? Are you always the one who's providing emotional support? Are you feeling like you're giving more than you're receiving? These are all signs that you might need to set some boundaries and ask for help. You cannot be everything to everyone. You have to prioritize yourself. And remember our theme, gentle whispers, nurturing emotional connection. Well, the Ten of Wands in this context is about recognizing that you can't nurture emotional connections when you're completely overwhelmed. You can't be present for others when you're constantly stressed and exhausted. You can't connect with yourself when you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's about recognizing that you need to prioritize your own well-being in order to be a good friend, partner, family member, or colleague. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And with that rose quartz angel energy, it's about flowing with compassion, about recognizing that it's okay to ask for help, about trusting that others are capable and willing to support you, and about allowing yourself to release some of those burdens so you can experience more joy and ease in your life. That rose quartz is there to soothe you. Remember to be gentle with yourself. It is okay to ask for help. People want to help you. But the biggest question here, and the thing you really need to think about, is why you are taking on so much. Are you trying to prove something? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of letting people down? Are you trying to control everything? Get to the bottom of it. Okay, so the Ten of Wands is definitely a challenging card, but it's also an opportunity for growth and transformation. It's a chance to release some of those burdens, to delegate some responsibilities, and to create more space for joy, ease, and connection in your life. It means you can ask for help, and you can live a lighter life. So don't be afraid to put down some of those wands. You don't have to carry them all, but wait, there's still one more card to pull. This is the final piece of the puzzle. I am dying to know what it is. How will you finally free yourself from these burdens? What is the final key to unlocking your true potential? I am literally bursting with anticipation. What does it all mean? I absolutely cannot wait to see what happens next. Okay, so after all of that, after the Tower crumbling, the Eight of Cups letting go, the Four of Swords healing, the world coming full circle, the Devil showing us our shadows, strength finding our power, and the Ten of Wands weighing us down, we finally arrive at the Six of Wands. And this is like, yes, you did it. You overcame the obstacles, you faced your fears, you learned your lessons, and now you're being recognized for your achievements. People are seeing your value. They're applauding your efforts. You're getting the validation you deserve. It's a moment of triumph, of celebration, of feeling like all your hard work has finally paid off. It's like you ran a marathon, you crossed the finish line, and everyone's cheering you on. This reading is all about triumph. So the Six of Wands at its core is about victory, right? But it's not just about winning, it's about winning with grace and integrity. It's about earning your success through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. It's about staying true to your values, even when things get tough. It's about inspiring others with your example and using your success to make a positive impact on the world. You're doing it right. It's also about public recognition. People are seeing your talents. Like, people are noticing your achievements. They're acknowledging your contributions. You're getting the credit you deserve. It's about being seen, heard, and valued for who you truly are and what you bring to the table. It's about shining your light and inspiring others to do the same. You are worth it. So how does this connect to all the previous cards, right? Like, how did we get from the Tower to the Six of Wands? Well, let's go back to the beginning and the Tower. The Tower was all about sudden change and unexpected events, right? It shook things up, it forced you to confront uncomfortable truths, and it cleared the way for new beginnings. And maybe you didn't understand it at the time, but that Tower moment was actually setting you up for this Six of Wands victory. Maybe you had to tear down those old structures in order to build something stronger and more aligned with your true purpose. You made it through. You came out on top. And then we had the Eight of Cups, the walking away card. That was about letting go of what wasn't serving you, about choosing your own happiness over staying stuck in a toxic situation. And maybe it was scary at the time. But that Eight of Cups decision was actually paving the way for this Six of Wands success. Maybe you had to leave behind those empty cups in order to create space for something more fulfilling to come into your life. You prioritized your self-care. Now look at you. And what about the Four of Swords, the rest and recovery card? That was about taking time to heal, to recharge, to reconnect with yourself. And maybe you felt guilty for not being productive enough, but that Four of Swords downtime was actually essential for your well-being. You needed that rest in order to come back stronger, more focused, and more ready to take on the world. That helped you prepare for the journey ahead, and even the World card. The devil was tempting you with shadows and distractions, but strength helped you find your inner power to resist those temptations. And now the Ten of Wands is like, okay, you've overcome all these challenges, but are you going to let them weigh you down? Or are you going to use them as fuel for your fire? It's all about fuel. So, what are some practical steps you can take to achieve this Six of Wands victory, right? How can you make this moment of triumph a reality? First, you need to acknowledge your achievements. Take a moment to celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem. Give yourself credit for all the hard work you've put in. You deserve it. Recognize that you are worth it. Like so many times, we're so quick to focus on what we haven't done, on what we still need to improve, that we forget to appreciate how far we've come. Take a moment and be proud of yourself. You deserve the recognition. Then, you need to share your gifts with the world. Don't be afraid to shine your light, to share your talents, to use your voice to make a positive impact. The world needs what you have to offer. The world is waiting for you. Now the world gets to see what you've been working on. Now the world gets to benefit from your gifts. Maybe you've been holding back, afraid of judgment or criticism, but now is the time to step into your power and let your light shine. You are ready, baby. Next, you need to build a support system. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, who celebrate your successes. You can't do it all alone. It's important to have people in your corner who will cheer you on and help you stay motivated when things get tough. These people will help pick you up when you are down. So nurture those relationships. It is important. It also could literally mean that people are going to be cheering you on. So be prepared for lots of praise. Then, you need to stay true to your values. Don't let success go to your head. Don't compromise your integrity, and don't forget what's truly important to you. Remember that true success is not just about achieving your goals. It's about living a life that's aligned with your values. It's about making a difference in the world. Do what feels right to you so you can stay on course. Finally, you need to keep learning and growing. Don't get complacent. Don't stop challenging yourself, and don't be afraid to try new things. The world is constantly evolving, and you need to evolve with it. You need to always be seeking new knowledge and new experiences so you can continue to grow and reach your full potential. Keep pushing yourself. And remember, the Rose Quartz Angel is with you. So, how does all of this relate to nurturing emotional connections, right? It's about building relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and support. It's about creating a community where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. It's about connecting with others in a way that's authentic and meaningful, and it's about celebrating each other's successes. All that good energy coming back at you. It is also about being true to yourself and being willing to embrace your imperfections. It's about knowing that you are worthy of love and respect, just as you are, and it's about attracting people who appreciate you for who you truly are. Don't try to be someone you're not. And you can't have strong emotional connections unless you value yourself. And with the Ten of Wands, that's about being honest with yourself and with others about your needs and your boundaries. It's about knowing when to ask for help and when to say no. It's about surrounding yourself with people who support your goals and who encourage you to be your best self. And with that Rose Quartz Angel energy, it's about flowing with love, compassion, and gentleness. It's about trusting that the universe has your back, that everything is happening for your highest good, and that you're exactly where you need to be. Now, that crystal's energy can flow through your connections. So, the Six of Wands is a beautiful, beautiful sign of victory and recognition. But it's also a reminder that success is not just about achieving your goals. It's about living a life that's aligned with your values, nurturing emotional connections, and sharing your gifts with the world. It's about trusting yourself because you have the strength to overcome any challenge. Be proud of who you are. You are victorious. And so, yeah, I just think good things are coming your way. This Six of Wands is a beautiful, beautiful sign of that. So yay, yay for you. I hope that you can see that you are capable and you are worthy of love, joy, and abundance. I hope this helps you on your way. You've got this.